That's the best thing ever. Good evening and welcome to the Township Committee meeting of June 13th, 2023. Ms. Borick, please call the roll.
Committeeman Ciccarelli, Committeeman Rue,
Here.
Committeeman Thompson.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Britting.
Here.
Mayor Lapani.
Here.
Administrator Ferreira.
Here.
Attorney Willard.
Here. Thank you. Please stand and salute the flag. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just as a quick aside, with the change of scheduling, if you're here for Pastor Eckert's proclamation, it has been moved to July 18th. So I don't want to make you stay here for our proclamation. That's not coming. So if you're here for Pastor Eckert's proclamation, it'll be moved to July 18th. Please be advised that in accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, that notice of this meeting was made by posting of the bulletin board at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex and notifying the officially designated newspapers that this meeting would take place at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex at 7:30 p.m. on June 13th. First order of business is may I have a motion to approve regular meeting minutes of May 23rd, 2023.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Rue,
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Britting.
Yes.
Mayor Lapani.
Yes. We'll move on to reports from liaisons. We will start with Committeeman Rue. We're going to skip Mr. Rue and come back. We'll go to Committeeman Thompson.
Sure thing. Thank you, Mayor. First thing from our police department, this is just a reminder to all township residents to not leave their pets in their cars unattended, especially during these hot days that are coming up. If you come across a pet that is stuck in a hot car, please call the police if you can't immediately summon the owner. Also from our police department, on June 9th, the Hillsborough Township police officers took part in a very special event. Officers Gorka, his wife, Raquel Gorka, officers Vincent Gennario, Jacob Lawrence, Dave Brown, Tom Gerba, and Chris Peltak ran in the Hillsborough leg of the Special Olympics torch run. Officers Gorka and Peltak ran the entire county portion, 12 miles from the Middlesex border to Nelson's Corner, show-offs, here in Hillsborough. Thank you for their constant dedication to this. It was the 40th anniversary, and Hillsborough has been participating for all 40 years. So thank you to our police officers for doing that. From the Neshannock Garden Club, they received recognition from the Garden Club of Westfield for their outstanding marketing efforts. Congratulations to the esteemed local organization for their achievements and for their successful efforts in beautifying Hillsborough. That's it for me, Mayor.
All right. You ready, Committeeman Rue?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll go to Committeeman Rue.
Thank you, Mayor. From the Health Department, disposal of lithium-ion batteries. Lithium-ion batteries cannot be disposed of in curbside recycling or garbage. If done so, they often cause costly and dangerous fires in both collection trucks and recycling centers. Please take any unwanted lithium batteries to the next Somerset County Hazardous Household Waste Day, June 17th, 2023, at South County Public Works Garage, 410 Roycefield Road. From the Recreation Department, the Recreation Department tallied all of the votes for their summer movie series, and the two winning movies for July and August are Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and Minions, The Rise of Gru. Jumanji will be shown on Friday, July 7th at Ann Van Middlesworth Park. The movie starts at 8:30. The ice cream truck will be on site around 8 p.m. Bring a chair or a blanket and enjoy the movie under the stars. The Recreation Department has plenty of activities to keep your family busy and active this summer. Check out the Summer Activities Guide for the selection of fun programs for all ages. From the Social Services Department, on Saturday, Hillsborough Township hosted a Green Living and Wellness Fair and a 5K run for the first time in 3 years since COVID. Many different vendors came out to support the cause. The event was designed to raise awareness about sustainable living, nutrition, exercise, agriculture, gardening, and other activities related to a healthy body and environment. From the Building Department, if you have included your email address on the permit application, our construction software, SDL, will send you notifications for your application and inspection confirmation. From the Engineering Department, pedestrian safety. The Engineering Department would like to report to the public that the township is continuing the pedestrian safety program of installing rapid flashing crosswalk signs. The latest installation is located at New Amwell and South Triangle Roads. This makes a total of 6 intersections throughout the township with these beacons. From the Public Works Department, DPW crews have been noticing with concern an increase in the growth of poison hemlock this year. As you can see from the slide, this is a beautiful but dangerous plant. All plants of the poison hemlock, leaves, flowers, seeds, stems, and roots are highly toxic. Merely touching it or brushing up against it accidentally causes severe, long-lasting injury. Ingestion of the plant can be deadly to both humans and animals with no known antidote. We are asking residents just to be aware of this plant and to educate themselves on its dangers because of its increased presence in the area. More information can be found on the USDA Agricultural Research Service website. That concludes the report, Mayor.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Brady.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody. So I had the pleasure to visit Aughton Road Intermediate School, so ARIS, not too long ago. And I just wanted to, first of all, thank Ms. Andreski, who is a neighbor of mine and a dear friend, for inviting me to speak with the students about sustainability and how, as a township, from an environmental perspective, business perspective, and all the different ways that you can focus on sustainability for a town. I'll read a little bit more about sustainability in a grant that we received towards the end, but I had the great opportunity to speak to about 110 children about the impact that we can have in a positive way. So great questions by the kids as well, too. I mean, they were extremely well oriented to asking good questions, and they were engaged. That was great. So a message from the tax assessor's office. So our assessor's office is currently performing farmland inspections. For those impacted, please be advised that this is the time of year when the assessor's office performs these inspections, and it would be greatly appreciated if the owners of the properties comply with the request for the inspection. As per the New Jersey State Division of Taxation, farmland properties must be inspected minimally once every 3 years. Next, from the administration and the clerk's office, we'd like to again invite Hillsborough residents to share scenic photos of Hillsborough for the annual township calendar and planner. We had some terrific photos last year, so please keep that up. In the past, the calendar had showcased our gorgeous open space and scenic locations, including wildlife, farmland, parks, and rivers. When submitting these photos, please don't include people, pets, and avoid objects that distract, including roofs, fences, and car windows. Please save pictures with your name and the location's name before sending them to Deborah at debng@hillsborough-nj.org. You will also need to fill out a photo release form that is located on the Hillsborough Township website. Now, from the business section of the administration, business nominations are now open for those interested and who could be nominated. Hillsborough Business Association, or the HBA, invites everyone, whether you own a business or not, to nominate a business or organization in Hillsborough for one of our annual awards. This is a wonderful way to appreciate our local businesses, which we have some wonderful local businesses, to appreciate their community and their staff. You can mention their sponsorships or support for our community, their commitments to sustainability, the environment, from the business angles of it, or maybe the experiences and joy they bring residents and visitors. Nominations close at the end of this month. So the end of this month, the end of June. Find the form on the HBA page under the Residents tab at hillsborough-nj.org. Next, I have two more, I believe. So the HBA, so the Hillsborough Business Association Spring Social, that is happening tomorrow, the 14th, which is also Flag Day, by the way, American Flag Day. So the Hillsborough Business Association will host their summer networking social at the Landing. Registration is officially sold out, so thank you to all those who registered and who will be attending. It's going to be a great event. If you missed out, the HBA will be hosting more events in the future, so make sure you sign up for the HBA e-news at www.hillsboroughbusiness.org to stay up to date on all things business in Hillsborough. And the last thing I want to mention is I mentioned sustainability and having the opportunity to speak to the students at ARIS. But we have done some terrific work. Where's Samantha at? Raise your hand. Samantha, where are you? Where's our, there she is. Samantha Ball, there we go. So the Hillsborough Sustainability Office is excited to announce that the township has received a $2,000 grant from Sustainable New Jersey and PSC&G for the creation of a community garden here at the municipal building. Now, for those of you who work in a big business, $2,000 doesn't seem like a lot, but when we go for a lot of these grants, that really adds up, and it really helps us beautify the township and help supplement in other ways. So these grants are really important. The grant was done in collaboration between the social services and sustainability departments. So great job cross-collaborating, Mr. Ferrara and all the others that were involved. The project hopes to teach seniors and children about sustainable gardening, and any cultivated produce will be donated to our Community Assistance Network, or you'll hear of also as CAN. The township looks forward to unveiling the completed project to the community in the future, and Hillsborough has been certified silver is the highest level of recognition in the Sustainable Jersey program, and that's for the last decade, for the last 10 years. So very good job, Samantha and team. Really good job. Great. Congrats. And that's it for me, Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Couple things. May have noticed on your way in today that there are pride ribbons around the municipal building. Thank you to the Township resident, Maria Fariello, for organizing this initiative. I was put up one myself on a tree. I'll just say next year, make the ribbons longer. It's hard to make a bow with a 6-inch ribbon. So, but we did with what we could. Thank you. Just as a notice, obviously, municipal offices will be closed Monday, June 19th in observance of Juneteenth. Offices will resume business on Tuesday, June 20th at 8 a.m. Save the date if you haven't already for the evening of June 23rd. That's a week from Friday. Is Hillsborough Night at the Somerset County Patriots. Residents can participate in the pregame Hillsborough Township Parade, and as a Hillsborough resident, we will sing the national anthem for those who can sing, and for those who can't, we will just stand proudly. I will be there throughout the first pitch. You know, Doug always throws a strike. According to him, I'll see if I can keep up the tradition.
There's videotape. That's all I'm saying.
Family Fun Day is almost here, taking place Saturday, June 24th. The annual Family Fun Day and fireworks extravaganza is a favorite tradition of the Hillsborough residents of all ages. Bring a blanket and a folding chair. Enjoy the music of Gypsy, a Fleetwood Mac cover band. Or check out the food tent that'll be there, some bouncy houses for the kids, and a lot of fun amusement games also for the children. And of course, after dark, the magic happens with the fabulous fireworks display. Family Fun Day takes place at the Auten Road School beginning at 5 p.m., and shuttle buses will be available at the Hillsborough High School beginning at 4:30. Long-term weather looks favorable, so we don't even have to talk about any of those other things that we don't want to talk about. Yes.
Not 4:30.
Oh, shuttle buses begin at 5. Sorry. Typo. You can get there at 4:30 and get in front of the line because it's long. Rotary Fair beginning Tuesday, August 15th. The annual Rotary Fair and Business Expo once again transformed the Hillsborough Promenade. If you don't know where that is, that's the Lowe's by the Lowe's parking lot there, 315 Route 206, to the annual Classic Carnival and Colorful Midway. Over 20 amusement rides, games of chance, fireworks, food vendors, and an exposition of local businesses. Fair hours are 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Tuesday through Thursday, and 6 p.m. to 11 on Friday and Saturday. Fireworks are Friday night, weather permitting. And of course, there's always a chance that one of us will be in the dunk tank if you want to go throw us in the water. Hillsborough Township is pleased to announce the opportunity for residents to take part in a survey from Coach USA. Obviously, if you remember pre-COVID, there used to be a bus that we used to leave from the Lowe's parking lot into New York City. So they are collecting opinions of need again for the public transportation to and from New York City. Residents are encouraged to specify their commuting needs to and from the city during typical work week and express their interest in weekend trips. Coach USA will analyze the results of the survey to determine the demand for weekday and weekend bus service to New York. So please look for that survey in the mayor's e-news and the Hillsborough Township website. Not on the agenda, but this is the, I'll now call the annual or regular 206 update for those who want to know, because everybody we talk to wants to know what's going on. So I have received a letter from the state of New Jersey dated June 7th, and it's addressed to us, and I will read it to you. On behalf of New Jersey Department of Transportation, the NJDOT, and after conversations with your office, as well as Senator Andrew Zwicker and Assemblyman Roy Fryman, it is my pleasure to provide you with an updated plan for interim work regarding 206 Doctors Way to Valley Road project in the Township of Hillsborough. Weather permitting, the NJDOT crews themselves will be on site early next week. So that would have been this week, which I didn't see him, but to form work at the following sites. Resurface of the intersections of 206 and Valley Road. (206 and Triangle Road). Reset the existing utilities to ensure they are at grade with the pavement. Reset the inlets to ensure proper drainage. Perform regular street sweeping. As you're aware, NJDOT must deal directly with Berkshire Surety, which is the bond company, if you didn't know, in the furtherance of this project, and we will continue to keep you appraised for the process. Neither NJDOT nor the surety wants to delay the project further, and both are taking all necessary steps required in the process of taking the responsibility for completion of this project from Concas Corporation and placing the responsibility with surety. Please be assured that NJDOT takes the safety of Hillsborough residents and the state of New Jersey with the utmost importance. Obviously, if you should have any more questions or concerns, you can contact me directly at this is from Megan Fackler, and I've said this before, megan.fackler, Fackler, at dot.nj.gov. So good news is we got some work going on, and I'd like to thank the Assemblyman and the Senator with working with us to continue our prying to the NJDOT to try and keep the work going during the construction season and to take care of some of these areas of concern, which you all seem to be excited about. It by far does not address the scope of the project. It is strictly just, as you can see, a Band-Aid on some areas of need of concern and immediate address. But we will take that as what we do as a positive, and we'll get some more updates, and I will share them with you in the same manner as I get them. So, with that good news, we're now going to go into our proclamation section. So I'm going to go down and start with some governor educators of the year. Okay. Karen Pizzoka. I can yell. I'll use this. Karen Pizzoka, a reading specialist, has the honor of being named Triangle Elementary School's Governor Educator of the Year for 2022-2023 because of her dedication and service to Hillsborough School District. Karen has been a member of the Hillsborough School District faculty for 26 years. She is one of the driving forces in the development of Triangle Elementary's intervention program and works with teachers to analyze student data, and provide strategies to support all aspects of the reading process. Karen also organized the facilitated Read Across America events, One School, One Book literacy celebrations, and Packing Day for Military. Now, therefore, it be proclaimed that we, the Mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, further commend Karen Pizzoka for being recognized as Triangle Elementary School Educational Service Professional of the Year, and we thank her for all her work and dedication to Hillsborough's youth. Congratulations.
Sorry. Oh, yes. I guess I just want to take this opportunity to thank the Township Committee. And I'm very fortunate to work at Triangle, where we have a great school community and the families and the staff. So it's just a great honor, and it's a great profession, and I love what I do.
You stay right there. Don't move. No. Maggie. She paid attention. Maggie Crick, a music teacher, has the honor of being named Triangle Elementary School Governor Educators of the Year for 2022-2023 because of her dedication and service to Hillsborough School District. Maggie's been a member of the Hillsborough School District faculty 31 years. It's pretty good. That's it. It's almost as old as the school. In addition to the regular kindergarten and fifth grade music curriculum, she teaches music and choreography, writes speaking parts, and creates the artwork for each grade level music program, as well as participating in various school-wide events and music programs. Now, therefore, be proclaimed that we, the Mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, further commend Maggie Crick for being recognized as Triangle Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, and we thank her for all her work and dedication to Hillsborough's youth. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Drop the mic and go. You gotta get a photo. If I asked her to sing something, maybe she might. I can't read anything this small, right? Lauren Barker is here. Yep, Lauren's parents too. Somebody's got it. Lauren Barker, a senior to Hillsborough High School, has an honor of being named Somerset County Scholar Athlete of the Year. And Lauren is a 20 times. I was like, wait a second. I'm reading on the right. 12-time varsity letter winner and fourth in the state in the 4x800 race, while her favorite event is the 800-meter race. God, I hated that race. That's just pain. She is a straight A student and is a member of the French Honor Society. She has been accepted to the College of New Jersey for engineering with a partial scholarship. Now, therefore, it be proclaimed that we, the Mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, further commend Lauren Barker for being named Somerset County Scholar Athlete of the Year and wish her all the luck in her future endeavors. Congratulations.
I would just like to thank the committee for honoring me. Thank you. And thank my parents.
Congratulations. All right. Arnav? And family? Arnav Jain, a senior to Hillsborough High School, has the honor of being named Somerset County Scholar Athlete of the Year. Arnav is a member of the Hillsborough High School varsity boys soccer team and has been recognized as an all-conference first-team player and Hillsborough School boys soccer most valuable player. He ranks within the top 5% of his graduating class and is a member of the Future Business Leaders of America, Spanish Honor Society, and is an online volunteer tutor for underprivileged students. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the Mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, further commend Arnav Jain for being named Somerset County Scholar Athlete of the Year and wish him all luck and best in his future endeavors. Congratulations.
I want to take the time to thank the Mayor, Township Committee for this recognition, and obviously my parents as well, but also my teammates, my peers, and my coaches as well. Thank you.
Hey, we pack it in for the price of admission today. Joey. Parents or anybody?
Mr. and Mrs. Witt, please come up.
Can't hide in the back, especially when committeeman knows who you are. All right. Hillsborough High School senior Joey Witkowski achieved his 100th career win in wrestling for the Hillsborough High School varsity wrestling team. Joey was the Somerset County champion, District 17 champion in 2022-23, and earned second place in regionals in 2023. He had a career record of 101 and 21. Pretty good. And we'll be playing football at Wagner College in the fall. Now, therefore, it be proclaimed that we, the Mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby recognize Joey Witkowski for his successful season and commitment to the sport and wish him all the success in future endeavors. Congratulations.
I would like to thank my coaches, parents, teammates. None of it would be possible without them. They all pushed me, and thankful for other support.
So we now have a more group awards. So the Hillsborough High School varsity wrestling team. Hey, I just saw a guy look just like you. There you go. Yeah, there's a couple on this side. Spread out. Over here, guys. 3 of them. Everybody's gonna move. Set. Very good. All right. The Hillsborough High varsity wrestling team had a very successful season, culminating in winning the Somerset County Championships with 3 individual county champions. The wrestling team came in second in District 17 with 3 individual district champions and 10 regional qualifiers. Placed 8th in Region 5 and achieved a 24-4 record. Congratulations. The team was led by head coach Reese Weinberger and consisted of the following coaches and young athletes. Please state your name.
Zach Iannucci. Corey Iannucci.
Joe Witkowski.
Coach Reese Weinberger.
Matt Jones.
Giuseppe Citri.
Logan McDermott.
Nick Duarte.
Tyler Lang Margellis.
Now, therefore, it be proclaimed that we, the Mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby commend the Hillsborough High School varsity wrestling team, the coaches and parents, not only for their successful season, but their hard work, dedication, and commitment to the sport, to those principles of good sportsmanship, teamwork, and academic achievement, which the organization endorses. Congratulations.
Yeah, first and foremost, would definitely like to thank the mayor, rest of the committee for this recognition. It's a very special honor to receive this recognition in the special year that we had. As a former Hillsborough wrestler myself and Hillsborough, high school graduate, it's, there's some sort of pride leading and representing this team that is full of special kids and wrestlers that all have bright futures ahead of them. But most importantly, perhaps, the parents and the community. This is certainly not just this team's effort. It's the whole wrestling program in Hillsborough. We are on the up and up. We have a lot of terrific parents and coaches and wrestlers coming up. And I wouldn't be able to lead this team without all of them. So thanks everyone here and thanks to the team.
right, guys. Keep Bridgewater, that's all I have. Amen. All right, we have Coach Grace Weinberger, please come up. Surprise. Hey. The Hillsborough High School varsity team has been led by head coach Reese Weinberger for the past 2 years. Reese was named 2023 Skyline Conference Coach of the Year and District 17 Coach of the Year. He is a 2013 Hillsborough High School graduate, as he stated, and wrestler, was a district champion, regional champion, and placed 8th in the state. In his 2 years as head coach, Reese has led the team to 2 straight Somerset County titles, has coached and trained 7 individual county champions, 6 individual district champions, 16 regional qualifiers, and 6 state qualifiers. I say that's pretty good for 2 years. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby congratulate Reese Weinberger for being named Skyline Conference Coach of the Year and District 17 Coach of the Year, and wish him all the continued success. Congratulations.
Wasn't prepared for this one, so I think I said everything I needed to say last time. Again, thanks everyone here. Thanks to the mayor for this additional proclamation here. It's a true honor, and again, I know I'm the one getting recognized for it, but I owe so much more credit to everyone else that supports me and is behind me. So thanks.
There you go. I took all your stuff. All right, that's it. Ah, teasing. Not but not least, our most successful high school girls track and field team. Who's in the center? Someone's got to be in the middle. Whoever's holding. You guys are all running around here, Coach. All right. The Hillsborough High School girls track and field team had a very successful season, culminating in winning the Central Jersey Group 4 state championship. The track and field team also won the Skyline Conference Relay Championship, the Somerset County Relay Championship, the 2023 Delaware Division Championship, the 2023 Overland Skylands Conference Championship, and the 2023 Skylands County Girls Track and Field Championship. Now you can applaud. That's pretty good. The track and field team was led by head coach Rich Reefy and consists of the following coaches and young athletes.
Jason Rudick, Rich Reefy,
Alexa Kling,
Stella Martinez, Lauren Barker,
Maddie Terrace, Ava Lucarello, Gia Patel.
Now, therefore, be proclaimed that we, the mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby commend the Hillsborough High School girls track and fields team, the coaches and parents, not only for their successful season, but for their hard work, dedication, and commitment to the sport and to those principles of good sportsmanship, teamwork, and academic achievement, which the organization endorses. Congratulations to all.
I'll just say thank you to the mayor and the committee, but also we hosted most of these meets, and it really required a lot of help from all the coaches, the athletes, and the parents who did a really nice job. I'd like to thank everybody. I will add to the accomplishments. Throughout the year, we won 12 championships, the program, 6 of them being this spring. It was the 3rd state championship in a row, and 4 of those meets we set meet records for most amount of points scored and largest margin of victory ever.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to switch over to the stage right here. Each year, we recognize our REACH interns from the Hillsborough High School. The township and the school district remain in partnership for this important initiative. We look forward to our continued collaboration to continue to offer an enriching experience for our students. Thank you to Ms. Patty Rosengrant, the faculty member responsible for coordinating the program, Anthony Ferreira, and the department heads here at the township for their ongoing support to this program. So I'm going to ask Mr. Volpe to call up the students. Anyone here for
Yes.
REACH interns? Come up. Come on up.
Come on up because I don't have a list.
Also, if the department heads that are here that support the interns, if they're here, they can come up as well.
John, do you want to give them a mic to introduce themselves?
Enough, right? Yeah, got that one. You got yours? You got yours? Okay. All right. So I'm going to let the students say their name, and if you could say what department you worked in.
I'm Annabelle Yao, and I worked in the health department.
I'm Kaniga Sri Senthil, and I worked at the administration office.
I'm Tina Dong, and I interned for the economic and business development office.
I'm Megan Giovanni. I worked at the Hillsborough Building and Construction Department.
I'm Arnav Jain, and I worked in the Business Economic Development Department.
You haven't said anything, so you can cover it all.
Sorry, there's a lot of Hillsborough schools going on today, and I want to just thank the community, thank the mayor and the township committee for recognizing, and obviously thank the students for all of your efforts, some of whom were my students in the past. Thank you for all of your work and the recognition.
All right, we're going to take a picture. Turn sideways. Show your proclamation. Thank you all. Art chart. So can we have any of the students that were here for the art mayor's art show? We have 3 winners. I don't know who's here. Jen and Jasmine and Alicia. Come up. I know this is yours. Hold that up. What picture is yours? Nope. Nope.
But we have the Mr. Eilert, the art teachers as well are going to they're going to hold the other 2 that are not here today. Thank you.
So if you recall, we had the whole municipal building, come over here, littered with art from students of all ages in the building. And I'll have to say, every one of them was better than I can draw, which isn't saying much. But I had the pleasure of selecting these 3 pieces, which will hang in the mayor's office. They're all slightly different mediums, and they're all very, very good for the age that these young students are. And I was amazed at all the students' art. And I'm just going to ask our one participant here to introduce herself and tell us about her artwork.
My name is Jennifer Hahn, and this is a painting I did of one of my friend's eyes. I took a picture of her when she was on the bus. It's a piece that I did with Mr. Bober for AP Art. And I guess I just wanted to thank my parents for helping me, and also Mr. Bober for giving me all the work to do.
Thank you, Jen.
just everything that's happened tonight with the athletes, students, our art teachers, all the different talents our students have. There's magic happening within our schools, and I hope the community members that are here see that. We really appreciate the committee taking the time and the mayor to really highlight these students' work, select them, and honor them tonight. And thank you for the teachers for all you do, and thank you for sharing your talents with us.
I'd like to ask my fellow township committee members to come up to the dais, please, or come down from the dais, they should ask. All right. Pam, come down here.
All the employees. And all the employees
And all
as
the
well,
employees
Mayor.
are
all
here?
The employees.
Hey. We're gonna go in the middle. Slide over. Yeah. Don't cry.
I know. We're gonna get the tears. Anybody have any tissues?
So, if you haven't heard, this is kind of a bittersweet day for us, and we are saying, see you later. I'm not going to say goodbye. See you later to Pam. She is moving on to another opportunity today. This is her last day, her last meeting, so we decided to make the biggest meeting we've ever had for her to have. So when she leaves here, she's like, runs to her car. But as a testament to how we feel about her is the group of people who've come to send her off. The last couple weeks have been some emotional up and downs for all of us. And she'll be around. She's not going anywhere too far, but she's been a very special person to everybody here. She has been a very special person to the community. She's been as helpful and as courteous as she can be, because that's who she is. And I think that all of you who have ever had to deal with her directly can understand that. But I'm going to hand the mic to Doug here, because he's been here the longest. I'm going to give him a chance to say something first. But from me, you're the only one I know. And you know you're a Ranger fan. We still love you.
Thank you, Mayor. Pam, for anyone who doesn't know, is just an incredibly special human being to Hillsborough Township. The things that no one sees that takes place, whether getting ready for a meeting, she's written more speeches for the elected officials here than we can ever count. She's held my kids as I was signing documents when they were just tiny little babies. And Hillsborough is an absolutely better place because Pam was our clerk and worked with us. So Pam, just thank you for everything that you've done. And like I said, we're a lot better Hillsborough because of you. So thank you.
So I echo the sentiments of the mayor and Committeeman Thompson, and my boys, when they see her not in her office, they call this Pam's place. So they're going to say, where's Pam's place now? So but she's not going far. And just, it's been absolutely wonderful to get to know you, and almost like a family member. So God bless you, and good luck to everything that you're going to go through. You're welcome.
We're going to call the boss up. Never give him a mic to just say.
That's right. As a former mayor, you don't do that. So, all seriousness, where is she? Where is she? She's over here hugging the mayor and crying. So, it's been 12 years, and as the mayor has mentioned, it is like family. So you work here with with the folks here up on the stage a lot longer than you see your own family sometimes. So it's been an amazing opportunity to work with Pam. And I'm really happy for her at her next position. And like the mayor said, she's not going to be going too far. And each and every one of these departments have benefited from Pam. She just is 24/7. If you send her an email at 3:30 in the morning, it's probably going to be responded. So she just really cares about this place. And I don't think she's ever going to stop caring. So thank you. And thank you for everything you've done for me, as well as everybody up on this stage and helping us throughout the past year since you've been here. So thank you. 12 years. 12. She still got upset when you dropped the microphone too, by the way.
So
Yours.
this is on behalf of the township for 12 years of wonderful service. It might be.
It's a box of 12 crayons.
That's our Pam laugh. It's okay.
Is it alive?
I can't read it either. What's this name?
It's very heavy, by the way. It's very expensive. It's diamond and crystal. Pamela Borak, Township Clerk, 2011 to 2023. We will see you around town.
That's it. All right, time for a photo and some tissues. You want to say something?
I think it's time for Pam to say something. We've all said something, so I'm going to get out of the way this time. Get up front there.
Come right here.
I can't thank everyone here enough.
No, let her speak. We'll get ready.
Okay. Good. You want me to go? Okay. I can't thank everyone here enough. My son Mark drove me to work this morning, and he's like, "Wow, it's your last day," and I'm like, "Yeah," and we kind of commented how they both kind of grew up here, and they really did. And Jack came by to grab some lunch earlier, and I was showing him some pictures of when I first started here, and he was kind of little and would sit at the desk across from me with a thing of Oreos and sorry. He kind of wants to strangle me right now. And then we had our cleanup day where we got to clean up with Committeeman Thompson and his daughter, Hillsborough Road. Okay. I don't think that would be like safe now. I don't think it was safe then, but I did find a corner of a $50 bill, which was kind of cool. However, it was not enough to get like a whole $50. And we picked up a lot of ticks. So many ticks. The memories go on and on. I am just touched by you guys coming out tonight, because I know it's a Tuesday night and we all work hard, and this is probably the last place you want to be. Well, not you five, you got to be here. And so is Anthony, but the employees. And I really thank you from the bottom of my heart. It is an extended family here, and many of our residents have become parts of my extended family too. And I'm just so blessed, and I don't want to cry. So I just want to thank everyone. I want to thank the friendship and the camaraderie and the support and love over the past almost 12 years. So we're 12 and a half years, almost 13. So thank you. Okay. Picture time. Picture time.
I'll have that.
You have to get really tight. Boys. You guys are dismissed.
What is that?
just for the record, when I was sworn in, I was much taller than them.
Right.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
So you can stay here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So municipal government is very unsympathetic. Out with the old, in with the new. So you got your 5 minutes of fame. You got some flowers. You got whatever. So we're gonna move on for the benefit of the people. So at this time, I'd like to call up Miss Brake and.
Yeah, that's fine. But you
Right.
gotta ask your people.
Yeah.
If you could do that.
All right. Wait.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but you gotta ask them if you could do consent number 3.
Can I make a motion to move consent number 3 out of order and go to that?
I can make a motion to do that.
We got a motion. We have a second.
Yes, second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Consent number 3.
All right. So we've made a motion and a second to move consent number 3 up to the top. We have a roll call and we have
The motion, read that resolution.
resolution appointing Sarah Brake to the position of Township Clerk and Public Information Officer. We have a motion from Kim Thompson. We have a second from Mr. Rue. We have any comments from the dais? Yeah, we'll say any comments from the floor. I will take that as complete. I will now, we have a roll call. All affirmative, say aye. Aye. Okay. So now we did that. So now we go to our Miss. You gonna make it? All right. I will hand the mic over to
Come here, Dad. Poor guy. I hugged him like a crazy person when he walked in the door.
All right, we got to switch sides. Let's go so she can say. Go around. You got to switch sides. So you get the right hand up. No, left hand, the Bible, raise the right hand. Okay.
And you're gonna.
But I don't have a hand if I'm holding my hand up.
Oh.
Okay.
But I know it by heart.
I, Sarah Brake, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments in the established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, so help me God. I do further solemnly swear that I will impartially and justly perform all the duties of the office of municipal clerk according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Wow, the crowd was wild.
All right, we'll take a picture and then you can bring your family up. Okay.
Family.
Back on top.
Yeah.
Come on, sitting.
Oh, is it proclamation? Okay, so we're going to take a brief pause now. For those who would like to leave, you may. We'll reconvene in about 4 minutes. Can you see if Jimmy's outside and tell him to come in? Come in the room. Okay, so we'll continue on. We have a couple of presentations and then we'll get into some other stuff. So our first presentation, and we have the mic right here, is for the Wildlife Management Commission. You want to bring that mic over to the center for us? Or to, so you're on camera, just put it over on the side over there. Push and hold.
Alrighty. Well, good evening, Mr. Mayor and Township Committee. I guess we're here with our presentation. This is our 19th presentation to the Township. With that, 19 years of success and safety, which is 100% safety record for the past 19 years. We can go there. The following was tabulated from returned individual harvest surveys. 60 surveys were returned, 87% were returned this year. Total harvest, we had 142 deer total, 37 firearm, 105 archery, 47 males and 95 females. So that's a good ratio, doe to buck, to reduce populations in town. Total days hunted, 1,254. And this year was a little higher for deer pickup on the roads, but it was 92. It was 74 last year, 94 the year before that. So when you can see, originally when we started in 2004, it was almost a deer a day being picked up for roadkill. So we're doing pretty good, I think, over the years. With that, we donated 21 deer to the food bank, so that's 825 roughly pounds of meat donated. V. Roach and Son in White House is the butcher, and the total cost was $1,575, which is paid for from the application fees for the hunting program. For this year, we still committing the hungry or helping the hungry venison program. Continue to invite New Jersey Fish and Wildlife to the annual hunter orientation meeting. I talked to Keith today. He's going to try to make it on the 3rd if we have the meeting for our safety meeting. This year, the proposals is continue what we've been doing, but to allow hunters, there's an incidental coyote season during the archery and gun season, and it was incidental. This year, we're going to hopefully allow hunters to actively call coyotes in to try to reduce some of the population in the area, and also to allow, there's a fall turkey season that kind of overlaps, and to allow hunters to open up their properties for turkey during the November-October season. They'd have to be in tree stands to hunt for that too. So that's it. We're just basically keeping going, being safe. And any questions from the Township Committee members?
How long would the coyote season be?
It's incidental during the shotgun and archery season.
Okay.
With that, it's not the extended. There's an extended coyote season into February, which we would not be involved with. This is, it was incidental with the archery and bow, but if you ever been out there, by the time you even would see a coyote, they're gone. So if at least you can call them in, you can kind of lure them in a little bit. On a lot of the township websites, there's a lot of reports of coyotes in yards and going through the areas. And, once they get established, they're very hard to decrease. So, and then they could be a big nuisance then too. So with livestock and animals and pets. So,
okay.
Any other questions?
I'm good. Thank you.
All righty. We'll just wait for your approval and we'll find out tomorrow, I guess.
Okay. Thank you.
All righty. Good night now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah, we're going to miss you. I know, but she is the right arm of our program there in the township office. So we'll have to hand it off.
Thank you, sir. All right. We will now move to our budget presentation. That's you guys over there. We have our Nancy Costa, our CFO. And it's not effectively the last day, but this is her last presentation. She is due to retire at the end of the month, roughly. I don't know the exact day, but I'd like to first thank Nancy for all her years of service to Hillsborough and the residents. And it's a hard job to manage the budgets that we have and to have 5 people pulling at you from a township committee and administrator and everybody else. On a 6 is Anthony. But thank you for all you've done for us, and we will wish you all the best on your retirement. Anybody else?
No, I guess, again, as the longest serving member now, I still don't know how that happened. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you over these last 12 years for me, but your entire time here in Hillsborough, you've done a magnificent job of keeping the budget in check, whether it's been through COVID or the economic downturns in 2008, et cetera, 2007. Just thank you for all you've done to ensure that we can provide the residents with the services they deserve while keeping within that lovely 2% cap. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So I know she didn't want a proclamation, but she wasn't getting away without a slide in her year. So sorry, Nancy, you can't leave the room, and the employees know that as well. So again, it's been 12 years and many phone calls and saying, where are we going to come up with this money? So we always figured it out, but always putting the residents first and our pay-as-you-go policy. So thank you for the 12 years and the patience, and looking forward to hearing from you maybe 7 months from now after retirement, because you know how that works. So wish you all the best in your new, nice, warm place and your last budget presentation. Thank you.
Is your mic on? Is it green light?
Yes. Yes. There we go. Thank you. I might as well pay. That's right. So, yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been 18 plus wonderful years. I have the best people working with me in the world. And all the multiple committees. Doug, it's been great working with you all these years, and Anthony and everyone. I will miss everyone deeply. Thank you.
You're welcome. And so we're going to let you do your
My last one.
presentation, and we will hand the mic to you.
Okay. Thank you. The 2023 municipal budget was particularly challenging this year. And I'd like to thank Finance Liaison Deputy Mayor Britting and Committeeman Chitterella, as well as Mayor Lapani, Administrator Farrar, and especially Acting Treasurer Alicia Noon, for all of the hard work and guidance that was required to balance this budget while still providing the level of service that meets the expectations of the taxpayers of Hillsborough Township. So this chart shows the 4 main components that make up our tax rate: the school, the county, municipal, and the fire district. In 2022, school taxes made up 65.5% of the tax rate. County taxes 17.5%, municipal 13%, and the fire district 3%. And 1% of that tax rate is from the required open space taxes that we collect every year. This chart shows the trend in tax rates for each component since 2016. You notice that most of the tax rates for each component have come down. The fire district went up quite a bit this year, but consistently, everyone seems to be bringing their portion of the taxes down every year. The township's rateable base increased from both added assessments and new construction this year, and the ongoing annual reassessment program in the tax assessor's office. The increase in rateable values within the township has helped to hold the township's municipal property tax rate flat for 2023 because it provides more dollars over which the tax levy can be distributed. So our tax rate last year for the municipal portion was 0.292, and it will be the same in 2023. Our municipal budget totals $37,609,17.55 and will be funded with $15,326,783.79 of anticipated revenues and a tax levy of $22,282,233.76. The increase in this year's ratables again will help us result in having a 29.2 cent per $100 of value, assessed value, the same as it was in 2022. These are the sources of our budget revenues. Municipal tax levy and state aid provide 72% of the revenues in this budget. Items like licenses, permits, shared services, and court fines provide additional revenues. And as growth with the township continues, UCC fees collected make up about 6% of the revenues we take in for this budget. We had some key revenue changes this year. While construction continues in the township, it's begun to slow down slightly in 2022 and continued into 2023. So we saw a slight decrease in the revenues we could anticipate this year. Fees and permits, as well as municipal court fees, fines are down as well. In the 2023 budget, 25% of our expenditures will go towards public safety, particularly police, protecting us all, with Public Works at 13%, other offices at 17%, and pension and insurance benefits both at 10% of the expenditures of this budget. This budget provides $480,000 in capital improvement fund, which is used for our routine capital purchases, which prevents us from having to borrow. The mild winter allowed for a reduction in snow removal of over $345,000. We only had to budget $150,000 this year. Rising fuel costs increased our gasoline and diesel to $350,000 this year. Uncontrollable costs, mandated pension contributions, debt service payments, and health benefits all saw significant increases in 2023. The township maintains a AA+ bond rating. Positive financial operations, conservative budgeting all lead to a strong local economy, and we continue to maintain our AA+ bond rating with 3 major agencies. We have a very high credit quality and a very low credit risk, which enables us to borrow more money and fund large-scale projects, such as the 2018 road improvement bond that we took out, while maintaining our debt reduction plan, which pays down debt faster by budgeting for more than the legally required principal payments every year. And that is something that we instituted in this township in 2014 and have continued to do for 9 years. The introduced budget document will be on the municipal website tomorrow morning, and the public hearing will be held on July 18th, 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Costa.
Thank you, Mayor.
It was a very challenging budget this year because of the loss of revenues that you mentioned and then the large increase of costs that we have no control over. But I'm proud that we worked out a budget that saw no increase to our residents as far as the tax rate. And we still are able to do the roads that we had promised, and we still able to do the capital improvements that this town needs to. So we did have to cut some things. We had a sharp knife, and every department had to relook at itself and to see what was a need versus a want. But the bottom line is we kept the services to our township at what they expect and at a fair tax rate. So I thank you for that.
I would just like to say, Mr. Mayor, that I'm extremely proud of this as well, too. I mean, everybody here living has a significant increase in how much everything costs in your personal lives. Township goes through the same thing. So the fact that we were able to maintain this tax rate with this insane inflation that we've been dealing with over the past few years, looks like it might continue as well, too. The fact that we could do that is a very proud moment for this team as well, too. Other towns are going up. We're staying flat.
Thank you. Anyone else? No?
The mayor, as I look at former Mayor Frank Delcor in the back of the room and all the budgets that he worked on with Nancy, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that once again, the energy tax receipts from the state remain flat, and we are not getting the appropriate funding as we've been promised year after year, I think since 2009 or 10, when they took away the energy tax receipts, which is the amount of money that we get for each telephone pole and pipelines and things like that that go through the town. They pay property taxes, or supposed to, and the state has basically kept that money into the state coffers instead of giving it back to the municipalities like they were supposed to, which is a huge budgetary hit for us. And I'd also be remiss if we don't also talk about the healthcare costs, which had dramatic increases that the state was able to avoid for their unions through the pass-through. But unfortunately, we are getting hit with that, with no relief here for the municipalities once again. So I will kindly ask our state legislators to once again fully fund the energy tax receipts and provide the proper relief from the healthcare costs that the state employees were able to get, but we are not allowed to take advantage of here in the municipalities for our employees who do deserve the same quality healthcare that the states get, and we deserve it here, but we deserve the same discounts they get. So thank you, Mayor.
Agreed. Anything else? Okay. Thank you, Ms. Costa. Appreciate the diligence and the work, both with you and our oncoming Alicia. Nice to get you involved, but we will have the official adoption of the budget at the meeting on July 13th. 18th. July 18th will be the official adopting of the budget. And it will be posted, as Ms. Costa said, on the website for anyone to review tomorrow on the website. So thank you very much. So we will move, I would ask my colleagues if I could, again, move some things out of order and move to consent 1 and 2, which would be the resolution authorizing the induction of the 2023 municipal budget and setting public hearing 18th, and resolution authorizing self-examination of 2023 municipal budget. May I have a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Thank you. Second, any comments from the dais? Seeing none, any comments from the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you. So then we have our other consent agendas, which are quite lengthy, but I will ask for a separation of, which ones are they?
Mayor, that would be consent items 3 through 7.
Items 3 through 7, if we could separate those. So to 4 through 7,
4 through 7, I'm sorry.
you move those up front. Your motion?
Sorry, I went through it once. Sorry.
Motion.
Second.
Second. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. So we have motions 4 through 7. I'll read them. Resolution authorizing promotion of Harriet Fencer-Guid to the position of Human Resource Manager. Number 5, resolution authorizing the hire of Sean Kirk for the position of part-time electrical inspector in the Hillsborough Building Department. 6, resolution authorizing hiring of Louis Correa for the position of full-time building inspector in the Hillsborough Township Building Department. And number 7, of resolution authorizing hiring of Sarah Harrowfield for the position of police officer in support of the Somerset County Police Scholarship Program. We have those up thing. Do we have a motion to approve?
Yeah.
So we have a comments from dais. Anthony?
Thank you, Mayor. First, even though we have gone through consideration number 3, I want to welcome again Sarah Brake to Township Clerk. I know she's going to do an awesome job. So very happy to start tomorrow. Also on consent item number 4, Harriet joining as our HR director through many years in the township here, through all our training. I know she's ready to move forward. So I'm very happy to add Harriet as our HR manager. And then the 2 gentlemen to her left, Sean Kirk and Louis Correa, many, many years of experience in their field and owning their own business and understanding the UCC code. So really excited for them to start, and as well as one starting tomorrow morning. So I'm let these guys go so they can get working tomorrow. And we'll have more information on consent item number 7 as we move forward as well on that hiring. So I want to welcome the employees that are here as promotions, both Sarah and Harriet, and Sean and Louis to the team, Very thankful to have them here and look forward to seeing you around town, as Pam would say, with seeing around the halls. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Anthony.
Mayor, if I could just comment on, well, first, congratulations to all our employees, not all new, but congratulations on all the appointments, and also on number 7. That is a great grant opportunity that's coming from Somerset County, where we're going to be fully reimbursed almost $50,000 for the hiring of this new police officer here in town. So it's very exciting. It's a great program that the county has, and I want to thank the chief and his entire team for allowing us to take advantage of it. So thank you.
I consent. All right. So we've had any comments from the floor on consent agendas 4 through 7 only? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Welcome. Thank you all. And you are free to go. See you at work tomorrow. Yes. So now have resolutions remaining 8 through, yes, count them all, ladies and gentlemen, 40. Say we got to pack them all in for the last meeting.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to adopt 8 through 40 resolutions.
Thank you. We have
I
a second.
second that.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Any comments from the dais on 8 through 40?
I'm going to hold my comments.
Okay. I'm seeing none. We will go to comments from the floor on consent agenda resolutions 8 through 40. Please state your name and address for the record and the resolution you're asking about.
Maria Janusik, 720 East Freck Avenue, Manville, New Jersey. I'm also a Hillsborough Township property owner, Block 86, Lot 3, 2155 Camp Plain Road. Consent number 9, resolution authorizing appointments and stipends of township employees. Number 1,
Yeah, you guys just get closer to the mic, Ms. Janasek.
Number 1, the appointment of Dana Margelis as qualified purchasing agent, an annual stipend of $5,000. What is that stipend to? What is that in addition to whatever salary, and what is she doing currently?
So when Ms. Costa retires, she was our certified purchasing agent. So Ms. Margelis has been qualified and passed the test to be a qualified purchasing agent. So she will be taking over that role, and that would be her stipend for handling that additional responsibility.
What is she doing besides taking on the qualified purchasing agent work?
Yeah, so if you don't mind, Mayor.
Go ahead.
So currently she's a finance clerk. So as the mayor had mentioned, because Ms. Costa held that position as a QPA, the township needs a QPA. So she's been through the classes for the past year. So now she's completed that courses and training, and now she'll be our qualified purchasing agent. So on top of her job, this is a stipend to take on another role. So if she ever leaves that role, that money would then go back to the township. That's why we do it as a stipend. So she's taking on an additional role. If she doesn't do that role going forward, then that would be taken away.
So she's the finance clerk. How long has she been in that position?
8 years.
8 years.
8 years. Okay.
I'm phoning a friend over there in the corner. 8 years. Thank you, CFO Costa.
Okay. Consent number 12, resolution to renew township liquor licenses for the 2023-2024 license term. I see that there are 5 pocket licenses. How long can a licensee hold a pocket license?
Well, as of right now, there is no term limit. You can hold it to perpetuity, right? Or how?
However, after 2 years, they have to apply to the director of the division for 1239 special unit.
Right. But they can keep reapplying.
Keep reapplying for that pocket license. All right, I have a question on licensee Polish Falcons Camp Incorporated, because last year when it was renewed, that license was shown, the licensee was shown as Polish Falcons of America Corporation. And now it's Polish Falcons Camp Inc. Why is that?
I believe they had a corporate structure change, and this is what. Sorry. I believe they had
Oh, it's sorry. I didn't have my button on. Sorry. They had a corporate structure change, and that is how they are showing up in the state system. All these numbers were double checked and verified with what the ABC is showing in their online system.
They had a corporate, excuse me, sorry, corporate structure change. When was this?
I believe so. I don't have that information in front of me to have all the data of all the licenses.
I know that Polish Falcons Camp had a corporate structure change back, and I think it was 2014.
Right, and that was the one that you previously asked about, that they never updated. Remember, the number was off, and they never updated that number until 2018. But they also filed that directly with the ABC, so we're putting in what is being shown in their system.
Okay, because last year, and I know this, last year it was shown as Polish Falcons of America Corporation. So that's.
So the answer is, Ms. Janasek, if you have a question, you need to contact the state ABC because they're the one that are giving us that information.
We
Okay.
need to contact the state ABC.
Yes.
Okay. Consent number 13. Excuse me. Resolution authorizing increase in the not-to-exceed amount of contract with CME Associates for Affordable Housing Administrative Agent Services for 2023. So the original contract amount was $20,000, and now it's being increased by $25,000, double that. What is going on in the Affordable Housing Administration that warrants such an increase?
So all the affordable housing that was built and is now complete requires to be administered as far as taking in the applications, the verification of income, et cetera. So that is CME is our consultant that handles all that stuff. So the increase in workload facilitated the need to increase the budget, bottom line.
So the increase in work was more than double?
That's correct.
So there's that much more affordable housing?
All the stuff that was finished, yes.
Consent number 24, resolution approving continuation certificate for road opening bond number 104703734 for Jersey Central Power and Light. Is that for a specific road opening?
Mr. Will can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's just a general permit to authorize them to do road openings.
For JCP&L, JCP&L is constantly doing JCP&L does regularly road openings within municipalities, so they post this continuation bond. They always have one on file with the township.
So it's not for a specific road, it's just to have it for anytime they need to open a road.
So
Yeah,
this-
usually PSE&G and JCP&L post that with the municipality because at various points in time throughout the year, they will require road openings, so they have that bond on file.
Okay, why don't they do that at the beginning of the year if this is something that's continuous?
This happens to be the cycle that they're on. It's yearly.
Yearly
So,
cycle?
so for them, this is yearly.
So it's a yearly cycle and it's always in June?
Not everyone operates on a calendar year.
Consent number 30, resolution accepting the 2023-2024 Strengthening Local Public Health Grant and authorizing the health officer to fill part-time positions as required to support the Strengthening Public Health Grant. So how many people need to be hired and what positions? What do they do?
2 interns. It's and it says, whereas the health officer requests the township accept the grant, authorize the hiring of 1 public health nurse and 2 interns as part of the requirement of the grant. It's paragraph 3.
This is in addition to employees that are already part of the Health Department?
Correct.
How many employees are there at the Health Department that we
I-
need an additional nurse and?
This is part of a grant that is to do certain projects, and these people are hired to do that particular project.
Okay, and so where will it show what they're going to be paid?
I don't know.
We haven't hired them
They
yet.
haven't hired them yet. This is to allow us to do that. So more to come.
Okay. Consent number 31, resolution authorizing the sale of a 2016 Ford F-450 rechassied ambulance to Jersey One Auto Sales. What was the purpose of the township owning an ambulance?
We owned.
We own
We own-
several
yeah.
at a point, and we don't use it anymore. So we put it out to bid. We had 2 bids. One was Bound Brook, I believe, and this one, and they're the one that had the highest bid.
And correct me if I'm wrong, to Administrator, but one we donated to the police department, which retrofitted it for their use for various projects. And I think one is with the fire departments too, if not 2. I can't remember if it's 2 or 1.
Yeah, one was with, correct, Committeeman Thompson, one with the police department, one with the fire, and one with health.
One with health.
And this was the 4th one, and it wasn't doing any good sitting in the yard. And with many towns, because of COVID, it's taking 2 years to get these type of ambulance. We thought that it would be best to put out for bid that could be utilized in another town, and that Hillsborough could also get some of the money back.
So did Hillsborough replace these ambulances, or do we no longer have, Hillsborough no longer has an ambulance?
We no longer have EMS. It's done outsourced through Robert Wood Johnson.
So we no
At
longer
zero
have
cost, by the way.
town,
Correct. Robert Wood Johnson provides 24/7 BLS services in Hillsborough at 0 cost.
okay. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, I have a motion and a second. So we have roll call, please.
Mayor Monroe?
Yes.
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Britting?
Yes.
Mayor LaPani?
Yes. Okay, we'll move on to public hearings. 2023-06, ordinance amending Chapter 143, Vehicles and Traffic. Article 5, Stop and Yield Intersections. Article 12, Schedules of the Code of Township of Hillsborough, Somerset County, New Jersey, to create right turn only intersections and prohibit all movements except right turns from Marshall Road to Amwell Road. May I have a motion to open public hearing on ordinance 2023-06?
So moved, Mayor.
Thank you. Second? All in favor? No? No? Okay. Secondly, so we go to any comments from the dais? I apologize. I'm ahead of myself.
Sir.
So for those who don't know where this intersection is, this is the intersection, I guess you would call it east of the Auten Road here to the other side of the park where we had the student tragically killed a little over a year ago. So we had conversation with the county and talking about what would be done at this intersection, whether a light made sense, any other mixture of anything, leave it the way it is, or create this right turn scenario. And information from our PD and the county agreed that a right turn only would make sense there because you wouldn't have to cross 4 lanes. And if you did need to go across 4 lanes, there's a interconnection of that development to the light at Auten Road. So that was the thought process behind what was being proposed. Any other comments? Okay. Seeing none, any comments from the public? Okay. We have roll call, please, then. Motion to close and adopt.
I'll make the motion to close and adopt.
Thank you.
Second.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mayor Monroe?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Britting?
Yes.
Mayor LaPani?
Yes. 2023-07, ordinance amending Chapter 23, Records Public of the Code of Township of Hillsborough, Somerset County, New Jersey, to adopt and codify the open data policy. May I have a motion to open the public hearing, ordinance 2023-07?
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion from the dais? Any comments from the floor? Okay,
Hold on.
I see it.
Okay.
Maria Janusik. Does this refer to the Open Public Records Act, or is this something that's going to be in addition to the Open Public Records Act, being able to access records and information from the township?
You want to handle that?
It doesn't change or it doesn't impact the OPRA, Open Public Records Act. This is a part of Sustainable Jersey, and it's a way for us to have even more data and information out on our website, so it's accessible for residents. And a lot of it is already there. This was an opportunity to go through and sort of do an inventory for the action and adopt this policy. So the OPRA law is from the state of New Jersey. This is just like a local enhancement, you could say, to speak, to have more information available. So that way you don't have to file OPRA requests as much. You can get it easily yourself.
It's part of our effort as well, too, to make sure everything's transparent as well for the public.
I'm sorry, what?
We're trying to make sure that everything is transparent for the public as well. So this helps it elevate that.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I didn't read the whole thing. So where is this going to be? Where is this information going to be? On Hillsborough's website?
Yes, on the township website.
And a special, under a certain category, or where will it be?
Some of it'll be by department.
By department?
Mhm.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, a motion to close and adopt?
So moved, Mayor. I'll
Second.
make that motion.
We have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Freeman Rue,
Yes.
Freeman Thompson,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bruning,
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante.
Yes. Okay, 2023-08, ordinance amending Chapter 188 Land Use and Development, Article 1, Title, Purpose, Definition, Section 188-3, Words and Terms Defined, Article 5, Districts and Standards, Section 188-106, I-1, I-2, I-3, Light Industrial District, Section 188-107, GI, General Industrial District, and Section 188-107, .1 Light Industrial District Code of Township of Hillsborough, Somerset County, New Jersey, to remove warehousing, shipping, and receiving facilities as permitted uses in the district. May I have a motion to open the public hearing 2023-08?
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second, Mayor.
Okay. Any comments from the dais? Okay.
Mayor, may I suggest we find out?
Yeah, I was going to say, so I know that we have some people here that are, say, paid representatives. So can I have a show of hands of those who are here that plan to speak as that are paid representatives, not necessarily public?
And in particular, people that represent property owners.
People that represent property owners.
in these zones.
Okay,
In these
so
zones.
we're gonna let those people go first. Yeah, the people who are impacted by the ordinance, and then we will let the public have their time. Okay, we're gonna start here on the right, and we'll have we'll ask for, if you can, have a 7 to 10 minute presentation. If we feel that we can go over, we can. We're just trying to keep it moving along. So I will go to the first row here on the right. Please obviously state your name and who you're from and who you're representing for the record, please.
And again, as the mayor indicated, there's a lot of people that want to speak here today. We know that the property owners are going to be affected by this. And if you can do your best, we do understand the issues, but if you can do your best to give us a presentation that lasts somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes at the most.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Michael Ogrodnik. I'm an attorney at Savo, Shaw, Corsini, Warner, Gillespie, Ogrodnik, and Fisher in Somerville. I represent Hillsborough Park LLC, Larkin Mini Storage, Hillsborough Business Center, Larkin Mini Offices, through their parent company, Larkin Associates LP, in connection with several warehouse, commercial, industrial properties located in Hillsborough Township, specifically in the LI zone. I also represent Weston Road LLC as a pending warehouse application. We filed a letter dated June 6th to formally protest the amendment of the zoning ordinance under NJSA 4055D63 that removes warehousing in the LI industrial zone for the existing warehouse structures. That provision of the municipal land use law allows an owner or petitioners of 20% or more of the area to ask the township committee to reconsider this amendment at this time. I have David Gardner, President and CEO of Larkin Associates. He owns approximately 45% of the properties in the light industrial zone. Good segue from the last presentation. He's, I believe, the largest taxpayer in the municipality, owning and developing hundreds of millions of dollars for the last approximately 50 years in Hillsborough. Hillsborough Park, as you may know, Jill Court, it's about 600,000 square feet of flex warehouse and office space. It's our position that the existing warehouse complex and perhaps other complexes be exempted from the zoning amendment, or that current warehouse uses be rezoned to keep the current uses permitted. Hillsborough Park, been in existence in many decades. It's fully built out, no risk of further infill warehouse development. We submit it would be contrary to sound zoning principles to make the existing warehouse complex approximately 35 to 45% of the LI zone, a pre-existing non-conforming use. Secondly, flex warehouses are profoundly different and less intensive than warehouse logistics operations. Break bulk warehouses, fulfillment centers like Amazon, last mile fulfillment, third-party logistics, high cube warehouses, and the master plan should parse out what is undesirable and what should remain as permitted. If the goal of the governing body is to put a pause on warehouse development in the Township of Hillsborough, this can be accomplished through less intrusive means by enacting an ordinance with clear language that exempts the existing warehouses or rezones the properties with existing warehouses. It makes little sense to ban existing warehouse uses. It would require potentially dozens, if not hundreds, of use variances for every new warehouse tenant if the use at the time of the adoption of the ordinance was not a principal use for warehouse, as well as an intensification of a use. Larkin has operated a clean and productive industrial park for decades and has paid Hillsborough tens of millions of dollars in revenue. In fact, as I mentioned, they're the largest taxpayer in Hillsborough, and consideration needs to be given to the corporate citizens who are sometimes less likely to appear at these hearings and planning board and board of adjustment hearings. However, they represent a significant majority of the tax revenue base for the ratables. As such, the applicant respectfully requests the existing uses remain permitted and carved out, and that warehouse ban is prospective only. This applicant has no objection to ordinances amending Chapter 188 for warehousing in the LI and other zones for future development. However, as our planner, Justin Alciello, will testify, this should be done through a master plan reexamination for consistency, as suggested by the municipal land use law. As land use professionals, we endeavor to responsibly build out permitted uses consistent with the master plan. It's crucial that the municipality supports the master plan and improves permitted uses, despite sometimes large public opposition, which is especially so given that many residential projects in the last 5 to 10 years have been constructed adjacent to existing industrial zones that have been in existence since the 1970s. If the township doesn't want a warehouse use, we applaud that zoning change so that the land use professionals and the developers don't waste the time, effort, energy, hundreds of thousands of dollars to file applications that are compliant or generally compliant and that are ultimately denied. We submit that existing warehouse uses should not be the target of the warehouse ban, especially flex warehouses such as Hillsborough Industrial Park. I have Justin Alciello, our professional planner, but first I'd like to introduce David Gardner to just give some practical consequences of banning warehousing for the existing warehouses. Mr. Gardner?
Good evening. It's incredibly upsetting that for 45 years we have been an outstanding tax-paying part of the Hillsborough community. For 45 years, we have been an outstanding tax-paying part of the Hillsborough community, and on almost no notice, something this damaging is potentially getting approved. Our existing warehouse properties mentioned below should be exempt from this zoning amendment. We have no objection to the ordinance as long as we are exempt for the following reasons. Our park, the Hillsborough Business Center, contains about 600,000 square feet. As Michael mentioned, I don't know if we're really the biggest taxpayer, but we pay almost $2 million a year in taxes, not just in the industrial park, but our other properties within town. Currently, the park has 228 tenants operating multiple different business uses as principally permitted in the LI zone, not including the mini storage tenants. Approximately 7% of the tenant base are recreational and commercial instructional uses. Approximately 3% of the tenant base are operating lab uses. 90% of the remaining tenant base are multi-use flex warehouse operators, all requiring and performing various warehousing, shipping, and receiving functions. This is the use that you guys are on the verge of taking out of the zone. In my right hand is 70, 80 zoning approvals from the last, more recent zoning approvals to move tenants in. They're all small tenants, Main Street type tenants. That's, we're not, you guys know our product. It's not, we've been here forever. These are Main Street businesses, incubator space. People come in, they rent 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet, 2,500 feet. The park is fully built out with no more land for future development. Ceiling heights of the buildings are not conducive for the kind of high traffic logistics style tenants who operate high warehouse throughout in larger distribution centers. Many of the buildings in the Hillsborough Business Center do not even have loading docks, as they cater to small business owners in Hillsborough for the last 40 years. Most of the truck traffic in Hillsborough Business Center are straight trucks, vans, or UPS style trucks, not tractor trailers. The detrimental impact of this proposed zone change: there is no public benefit to rezoning the Hillsborough Business Center or any other existing property in the LI zone, because the proposed ordinance would remove the most critical permitted use of warehousing, shipping, and receiving, would essentially decimate our tenant base, and would catastrophically diminish the value of our property. Requiring a use variance to replace tenants as leases roll over creates a significant barrier to entry for every new tenant. New tenants will not be willing to entertain the restrictive cost and timeline associated with a use variance, because the amount of time it would take to go to the zoning board to get approval could take up to 4 months, and cost of going to the Board of Adjustment for a tenant could be as much as $25,000 to $50,000 with no assurance of approval. As a result of the diminished market value, the taxable value of the property will greatly decline. The zone change would place all of this is the most damaging part, and I beg you to listen to this, because the damages
We've been listening. You can continue.
The damages are significant, because the second you do this, if you do it, all of our loans, I have over $60 million of loans on the properties in the industrial park. They're all going to be in technical default. Okay? We need to be able to rebuild a building if there's a fire. The way this is set up, we're not going to be able to rebuild. These are covenants in loan documents, very standard. Okay, so the zone change would place all of Larkin's commercial bank loans on all its properties in the LI zone in default, due to the inability to guarantee a right to reconstruct the collateral properties to their original specifications and original permitted use in the event of damage by fire, flood, or other casualty. The diminished value and the insurability issue would prevent Larkin from being able to pay off its loans on the properties at par, or to refinance the properties at low maturity, or to sell the properties to any potential purchaser who may require financing. All of that $60 million of loans has to be refinanced in the next 12 to 13 months. All of it. The stress that you're about to put on me personally and my company is tremendous. So you could make, I'm not following we're going to be in duress. Okay. And unfortunately, we're going to have no choice but to react.
I'm not sure what you mean by react, but if you could wrap it up, because I have some comments when you're done. And I think you've done a great job, Mayor, of allowing this to continue, but it's been over 10 minutes, sir. So if you could wrap it up.
You have your planner yet to speak. We're going to give him a couple minutes.
Brief would be key.
There's no public benefit for including us in the zone change. Thank you for your time.
And I think afterwards, if our planner wants to correct some of the inaccurate statements that were made by the last person testify, because there's been some I'm sorry, not testify, speak, because there's been a few inaccurate statements that were just mentioned. That's disappointing.
Okay, so our next witness is Justin Alciello, Cafone and Associates, our professional planner.
Hi, Justin Alciello. So I'm a planner in the state of New Jersey. I've been licensed as a professional since 2008. In the course of my practice, I have produced multiple master plans, zoning ordinances, working with planning boards and governing bodies like yourself throughout the state. As the committee is, well aware, zoning is a legislative act which must be substantially consistent with the master plan. I have reviewed the township's master plan update since 2018. And I note in the ordinance, or the proposed ordinance this evening, clause number 6 speaks to consistency with the master plan relative to protecting the public health and welfare. I went back to the 2018 master plan, and whereas that is a general goal and objective that you see in master plans throughout the state, there is no reference in there in the 2018 update to warehousing or even a problem with warehousing. So from my standpoint, whether or not this proposed ordinance is substantially consistent with the master plan, I would say it's not. The other, is it inconsistent? I wouldn't say it's inconsistent, but there is no statement in there which pins this to warehousing being a problem in the community. But I think more importantly, warehousing is a general statement, and that gets to my main point here. This ordinance treats warehousing as an umbrella. It doesn't differentiate between flex space or distribution or any other type of range from limited to moderate to massive. This ordinance lumps it all in together. As a professional planner, when I craft zoning ordinances, I look to proper policy. And I know that your ordinance references number 5 in your clause, a policy statement by the State Planning Commission from 2012, which provides guidelines for distribution and warehousing. And the statement in the proposed zoning ordinance talks about those guidelines, which talk about there have been problems with warehousing in recent years. And the state has done a great job preparing this guidance that provides municipalities with ways to deal with this. However, I think it's important to note on page 13 of that document that that land use regulation should not simply lump general industrial or warehouse together, as they can be profoundly different with differing impacts. So I think in this instance, Hillsborough really lost the opportunity to differentiate the types of warehousing that are inherent in this community. As you heard from Mr. Gardner is not operating the type of facility on his property that this ordinance is attempting to corral. We're not talking about massive warehouses here on his property. What we're talking about is a taxpayer in this community, just saw the budget presentation, someone who's been paying a lot of taxes to this community and who wants to continue to pay taxes to this community. As a planner who has represented boards of adjustments and planning board over the years, this is going to create a situation where any tenant that's operating a space 5,000, 10,000 square feet that wants to make any change on that property is going to be forced to go in front of the board of adjustment to make an application. It's going to put a burden not just on the property owner, but on local business owners who may want to occupy his space. So I think in general, there's
But
not
only ones that are doing warehousing, to be clear, correct?
Say again, I'm sorry,
Only
sir?
ones that are doing warehousing.
Well, but the problem is that.
But it's only ones that are doing warehousing. Is that correct?
But the problem is.
But is it the only ones for warehousing? Is it yes or no?
Mr. Committeeman, can I
If you say
finish?
yes or no, yes, you can continue.
Sure, but the problem is that your ordinance does not separate any other type of warehousing. It doesn't segregate. It doesn't carve out different types of warehousing. Therein lies the problem.
So if they're doing warehousing, correct?
If they're doing warehousing, but it's a catch-all.
Okay.
Mr. Committeeman, it's a catch-all. This zoning ordinance pins this ordinance on state planning guidelines, which state that you should not lump general industrial and warehouse together. If we're talking about a flex warehouse use, which are very common throughout Hillsborough and throughout the state, this is not what this ordinance is intending to limit. This ordinance is a umbrella. You really should be carving out the different types of uses that are found within your community, which is also consistent with the 2018 master plan, which talks about supporting commercial uses and areas in the municipality.
Which you pointed out our ordinance is not inconsistent with. Do you have any new comments?
That's it, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Is that all you have, Mr. Ogrodnik, for your side? Okay. Is there
Mayor,
anyone?
just a couple things, just to correct. One, that there was alluded to that this ordinance was done without no notice. That's inaccurate. We followed the laws implicitly, so I'm disappointed that was brought up. Two, the idea that every time the lease is re-signed, they have to come before it. That was not accurate, and I think that was mentioned. And if I misheard, I apologize, but that is not true. Just for a simple renewing a lease, they're not going to have to come before the Board of Adjustment or anything like that. So I just want to be crystal clear on
I'm going to
that.
let Mr. Coyce at the very end handle any.
I just want to make sure that
But
the
thank you.
statements are accurate for the record.
Right. Anyone else on this side of the room from that are with representation? All right, we're going to move to this side. In the back, sorry. Hiding in the back row. Again, say your name and firm and who you represent, please.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, committee members. My name is Brian Griffin.
Maybe just hold it, jack it up there a little bit. There you go.
Can you hear me?
That's perfect.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor and committee members. My name is Brian Griffin.
You can just hold it.
Do it for.
There you go.
My name is Brian Griffin from the law firm O'Toole Scrivo. We represent Village Supermarkets, and we want to join in what may be very many objections. We'll have to see. But we object primarily to this ordinance because it eliminates uses that have been permitted in the areas for a very long time, and we feel that it's inconsistent with the master plan. And I'm going to be brief tonight because everyone else is here and needs a turn as well. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, so nobody else on this side from, all right, so we'll now go to the left side and come on up again, state your name and who you represent, please.
Hi, committee members. My name is Matt Flynn. I'm also from the law firm of Savoshock in Somerville. I'm here on behalf of Kenneth O'Dowd, owner of Block 142, Lot 51 in the township. His property is located in the I-2 industrial district, so he is affected by this ordinance. The property is a 30-acre site with frontage on Roycefield Road and Cougar Court. As it presently exists, the site contains 6 commercial buildings in the I-2 zone, one of which is leased to the County of Somerset, 5 of which are leased to a plastic bottle supply, assembly, and distribution company. The properties, the facilities in general are generally between about 17,000 and 24,000 square feet. 2 of the 5, we would say the principal use for the buildings is warehousing, shipping, and receiving, and would be affected by this ordinance as a principal use. We're here to join with the Larkin Associates objection to the ordinance. We would want to echo the comments about the potential hardship and uncertainty that an ordinance like this could cause. And notably, the issue that we take with the ordinance is that we feel that as written currently, the Township Committee and the Planning Board by extension would be committing legal error in adopting this ordinance. Notably, one of the recitals to the ordinance specifically cites the State Planning Commission's warehouse siting guidance, which I don't mean to correct Mr. Ostello, but it's from 2022, not 2012. It was issued fairly recently in September of 22 after years of policy consideration through COVID. I have the experience of representing townships in challenges to very similar ordinances, and I'm very familiar with the citing guidance. I feel that this ordinance as written and as apparently will be voted on tonight, the Township Committee and the Planning Board would be committing legal error. And notably, the citing guidance is specific. It says, at a minimum, the Planning Board and Township Committee should engage in a master plan reexamination before it adopts any sort of ordinance to this effect. And the reason for that is because of the changes that have happened to supply chains through COVID. The planning guidance is a 50-page document that goes through everything from the different types of warehouse facilities. It notably distinguishes very carefully between facilities that are in excess of 150,000 square feet, which are considered major distribution centers, and ones under. My clients' facilities are way under that. It's typical flex warehousing between 17 and 24,000, way less in traffic impact than the large facilities that we're seeing proposed in Hillsborough. And this ordinance does not contain any detailed planning background or analysis on why we would loop all forms of warehousing, shipping, and receiving together as one prohibited use in all zones. The other thing I would also like to bring up as well, and I'll echo Mr. Ocello's comments, your most recent master plan reexamination was done in 2018. It does not mention warehousing at all. It was not a consideration other than general, as we said, purpose A of the municipal land use law, general public health, safety, welfare. This ordinance, we're not suggesting that the idea of banning major distribution facilities on roadways in Hillsborough would not be an amicable goal. We just feel that the ordinance should be tabled so that we can look at existing property owners in these zones and place a correct carve out for the specific types of facilities who would now be threatened by this ordinance. And I just have one other comment, and it gets to this issue of the tenancy, to your point, Committeeman. Yes, in theory, you lease out your space, you apply to the town for a change in use, or you register your new tenant, and if the zoning officer determines that it's substantially consistent in his purview, then it would be grandfathered and you could continue. But a new type of use comes in. Let's say it's similar traffic impact, but slightly more. Let's say they want to rearrange parking. Let's say they have more employees than the existing site. In that instance, the law says that the prospective tenant or the owner would have to go get D2 expansion of a non-conforming use variance approval. That's the issue here. The issue is that the blanket ban of warehousing does not address these smaller existing facilities in the Hillsborough industrial zones.
So it would be up to the zoning officer to make that determination, right?
In theory,
No,
yes.
it's not a theory. It's yes. They would be the ones that make the determination.
That's right.
It's not a theory.
Well, correct, but
Thank you.
We're going to vest the zoning officer with the power to engage
To
in
make
a
determinations,
review of
which they do
every
on a daily
tenancy.
basis. They do this on a daily basis. They make
Yeah,
determinations.
I think that
You could
what-
shake your head. And also, just so to be clear, the guidance document that was put out by the state is not law. It's just that it's a guidance document. If it wanted to be law, the legislature would have done that, or the governor by executive order could have done
Sure.
that. It is a guiding document.
Correct.
Correct.
But you
Good.
did that is correct. But you
cited it several times. Like
yes, but your township did not perform the master plan reexamination. If you had, you could have
That's guidance.
You could have-
It's not law. It's guidance.
you
correct?
could have incorporated
Is it guidance or is it law?
with what? The guidance is exactly that. It's persuasive guidance.
Yes,
Correct.
thank you.
My point is that by not doing a master plan reexamination report and actually going into all of these various uses that are pre-existing and just generally citing to the planning guidance that was issued by the state, the ordinance sits on faulty ground because it's not based in sound reasoning.
In guidance. That's it. Not law.
Guidance. Persuasive guidance. Correct.
No, in guidance. You don't need to add anything before it. It's guidance.
So with that, I would just say we would appreciate at this juncture a tabling of the ordinance so that the governing body could discuss with the existing business owners what would be a more palatable arrangement. And again, we're here on behalf of a business owner who has a property that we're talking 20,000 square feet facilities, not 150, 180,000 square feet facilities, which we know are being proposed in the township. So we'd ask you to table the ordinance and to, consider the plight of local business owners that this ordinance would have an effect on them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else on this side of the room? Right, not you yet. I'll give you the cue first, okay?
Yes, good evening, Mayor, members of the committee. For the record, Peter Flannery with the law firm of Bisgayer Hoff on behalf of Premier Development, which is a property owner here in Hillsborough. I had submitted a letter on June 6th to Ms. Borek, and true to form, she responded very promptly and politely. Thank you for that. Premier Development understands concerns of Hillsborough in terms of air pollution, noise, tractor-trailer traffic, but also joins in some of the comments here this evening regarding this ordinance really being too drastic and just a blanket prohibition of warehouse and distribution facilities in the township. I join also in the request to table the ordinance so that the governing body can have a little more time to review the ordinance, see if there are revisions that can be made, amendments. One suggestion that my client had in the letter was perhaps limiting warehouse uses, new warehouse uses to those that are served by a rail spur and a public roadway, which is a much smaller universe of warehouse properties and would reduce some of the tractor trailer traffic effects on the public roadways. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else here on the left that are of council or anything like that that needs to speak? Okay. So we are now going to go to public, and we'll start on the left side. And okay, since you've had your hand up 3 times, we'll let you go first. Please state your name and address for the record. Thank you. And we'll try and keep, since well, I'm sure all of you are going to be very similar in thought, can we keep it to 5 minutes or less?
Oh, I'm going to be short.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good evening, Mayor Lapani and members of the Township Committee. My name is Joyce Eldridge Howard, and I'm Vice President of the Hearthstone Community Board. I live at 75 Weber Avenue. I was most happy to have read the ordinance to remove warehouse, shipping, and receiving facilities in Hillsborough in an effort to maintain the goals of the master plan and to protect the public health, safety, and welfare of its residents, which is also agreed or was also agreed or concluded. And I quote once again, the ordinance recognizes that any benefits from such facilities would be outweighed by noise, truck traffic, and air pollution. I would also like to point out that Weston Road is a street that runs directly in front of our community. It is my hope that the warehouses on the docket can receive the same consideration, although I am aware of the statement by the Township Committee. As you know, the Hearthstone at Hillsborough community's ages range from 55 to 90 plus. We are all homeowners in our community, and this matter has been devastating because the majority of us sold our homes to buy into a community seeking peace. In closing, I'd like to thank you on behalf of our Hearthstone community for the proposed implementation of this ordinance. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to stay on the left-hand side. If there's anyone else. Again, name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. Good evening. Jim Vonderhorst. Want me to spell that? Okay. Jim Vonderhorst, 88 Weber Ave. I'm also president of the Hearthstone at Hillsborough Homeowners Association. I just wanted to say that I represent 185 families in that development, and on behalf of all 185, we strongly support what you're trying to do with this ordinance. We applaud you for doing it. We applaud you for putting the residents' needs above revenues. Thank you very much.
Next. I just want to make it clear before next comes up that this ordinance does not affect any applications that are in-house as we speak, just so we all know that. Okay. Next on the left, anybody?
Good evening. Nia T. Shaw, 3 Deer Run.
I want to thank the mayor and the committee for hearing us. We've been vocal at the planning board meetings. You've heard our concerns. And for all of us who've moved here with families in the last 10 years, we've moved here for peace, for quiet, for safe communities, for clean communities. And as you know, the new proposals will erode that. And I know this has nothing to do with the existing proposals. I recognize that. But we want to applaud you for taking this step. We want to applaud you for keeping families in mind first. For those of us who moved here, we want to stay here. We want to spend our weekends here. We want to spend our evenings here. Tractor trailers, hundreds and hundreds of cars, ruining the agricultural nature of the community will turn us off. We're here to stay. Thank you for hearing us.
I'm going to ask for respect not to applaud, to keep this neutral, okay? Because that's what this is about. But anyone else on the left side, please?
Rich Garman, 53 Winding Way.
Rich, pick that mic up a little higher. You're tall. There you go.
So I just want to clarify some. It doesn't apply to any existing applications. But it's also not general warehousing that exists right now. It's warehousing, shipping, and receiving located completely within an enclosed building. So there's already pretty restrictive use, and it's not just general warehousing, right? Am I reading that wrong? Like, they got to abide by a completely enclosed building. So I'm envisioning like over there on Stryker where, you know, you got a plumbing supply, they open the door, the truck pulls in, they close the door. That's completely enclosed. And then the warehousing happens. Am I understanding that properly?
That would be a question to be answered by our zoning and planning, which may come later.
I don't know. I don't see him here tonight. There's a couple of guys that were here when they wrote these ordinances.
Right there.
Okay. Are we on the same page?
I don't believe I fully understand your question.
Well, my question is, I hear a lot about just warehousing in general, okay? And this isn't general. Like, if you look at the zoning, in true industrial, it just says warehousing is allowed. In these zones, and I appreciate you're eliminating it, but in these zones, there are restrictions. It's got to be completely inside an enclosed building. That's how it's written.
For those
Those zones. That's how
well,
it's written.
there is a zone, the GI zone, where that's not in an enclosed building.
So what I'm saying is you made a distinction between zones.
No,
Types of warehousing.
if I may.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. So the township, the way that the use is written and has been that way since this original or the second generation of zoning ordinance that the township has since about 1976, 1977. The way the township laid out warehousing at that time was warehousing, shipping, and receiving. And in modern times, some of our zones does have that additional language that says it completely enclosed in a building. In another zone in the GI, it does not say that. There's currently no definitions in our ordinance that talk about what warehousing and shipping and receiving is. There is a provision in the township's prohibited uses that I believe came about in about 1978 or 1979 that talked about prohibiting a number of different types of uses, including trucking, truck terminals, motor freight terminals, and related such uses. So I don't know if that answers your question exactly, but you were saying some things, and I just wanted to give some clarity.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand that. It sounds to me like there is restrictions on this type of warehouse. It's got to be within an enclosed building. And you're eliminating warehousing altogether. I understand that. But I just want to make a distinction between enclosed and general warehousing, right? General warehousing, you pull up tractor trailers, they load them, they pull out and they go. This makes it sound like, no, they got to go inside the building, pull the door shut, package, load,
No,
receive.
no, that's no,
You're saying no, but that's how it's written.
I don't read it like that.
no.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't read it like that at all. A warehouse
Okay.
is an enclosed building. Yeah, I don't read it like that at all, but I understand.
Okay.
Just don't read it like that.
I just wanted to add a little bit of what you're questioning has made me realize, or perhaps where some of the confusion may be. There's a number of uses that are allowed in these industrial zones that do have as an accessory use allowed to be warehousing. One such use that was alluded to earlier was, contractor facilities. So we have some of these uses that are specifically spelled out. But people that have permits for a contractor facility, it's just that. They have a principal permitted use for a contractor facility. It's an unfair representation to lump together all of those types of uses and represent them as warehousing uses. That's not how our zoning ordinance reads. Our zoning ordinance reads exactly as you started out talking, which has warehousing, shipping, and receiving. Other uses that people may have permits for, there may be components of their business that could include warehousing, but that's under something that's customarily associated with it, which is called an accessory use.
Okay.
Thank you.
There's your planning lesson. Anyone else on the left side? Seeing none, we'll start with the right side. Left side. We got a little slow getting up.
I don't know what's going.
Again, just state your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is John Cardinelli, and I
Get a little closer to the mic, John. Perfect.
John Cardinelli. I live at 12 Frederick Court. I've been here for 50 years. And that peace and quiet that the young lady mentioned was why I'm here and why I came here. I wish I hear a lot about money, which I know is important in this, but I just want you to consider the peaceful and quiet part of this adventure. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Thank you, John. Anyone else on the left? Okay.
Hi there. Good evening. Juan Besares, 6 Deer Run. I just want to thank you and show my support in favor of the ordinance. I'd like to also just add a little bit of my background, just to sort of clarify why I support the measure. I understand it doesn't affect the existing applications, but born and raised in Paterson, New Jersey. For those of you familiar with the area, not where I wanted to raise my son. After Paterson, I moved to New Brunswick. While I enjoyed going to school there, also not where I wanted to raise my son. After which my wife and I bought a house in South Brown Brook in Somerset, basically just on the border of Somerset. While it was nice, this week marks 5 years that we purchased our home in Hillsborough, and was happy to be here. Just love everything about it. So I support the ordinance, just looking to preserve one of the many reasons why I moved to Hillsborough. So I want to thank you all for your efforts, and anything we can do to show support in favor of preserving the township that we live in, and the spirit of the township we live in. I just thank you again.
Thank you. Last chance for the left, because we have an eager one on the right here. Come on up. You got it. Right side.
Grant Colmer, 144 Taylor. I'll be quick. Just want to say thank you to the township. There's a somewhat of feeling heard, which I really appreciate. I've shown up to a lot of planning board meetings, and you certainly see my face. This is one effort that I think is a good first step, And I don't disagree looking at the master plan. I think that's a good long-term goal to see where we're at. If there are some businesses that are feeling fully affected by this, that is perfectly fine. But this is a good faith effort for the residents that we have certainly been vocal and active for. So thank you.
Thank you.
Maria Janusik, 720 East Freck Avenue, Manville, New Jersey. May I ask, who drafted this ordinance?
It would be the two gentlemen to my left, your right.
That's Mr. Coyce and Mr. Willard.
Yes.
Primarily Mr. Coyce, and then I did definitely review it.
I'm sorry, you did what?
Yes.
The two
Mr.
of them
Coyce.
together.
Yes.
Mr. Coyce wrote it, sent it to me. I'd made some modifications, but yes, Mr. Coyce was primarily the individual who wrote the ordinance.
Okay. And Mr. Willard, you are an attorney, and I think your specialty is land use, yes?
My specialty is representing the municipalities.
Okay,
Municipal
but I
law.
understand that also.
I also
you're-
have, yes, I have an understanding of land use law.
okay.
Yes.
So this ordinance, as was stated by the attorneys before, is really a bad ordinance because you've got existing businesses, warehouses that complied, that were within the ordinance, and this creates a mess, but yet it doesn't address these humongous distribution centers that are masquerading as warehouses. And so this, all this is going to do is get the developers into the courts, and they're going to say, you know, that's not right, what's being done to them. And then a judge will side with them, because I've been looking at things that were going on in Branchburg, and there had been Branchburg did a anti-warehousing, not anti-warehousing. They adopted an ordinance that restricts any future standalone warehouse development. And then right after that, the developer took his fight to court, and Judge Kevin Shanahan sided with the developer, and the town, Branchburg, had a settlement agreement with the developer. And then the result was Branchburg okays controversial warehouse, and the governing body members were saying, breaks my heart what has happened to this town.
Ms. Janusek,
And that
we're-
is what
Ms.
is
Janusek,
going,
can I
and
just
that
say-
is what is
Ms.
going to
Janusek,
happen.
we're not
If you
banning
do
warehousing.
this- If you do
Ms.
this,
Janusek,
if you
we're
do
not-
this, then
You
the
can keep
developer
clapping,
goes to court.
just like we asked that
and-
the other side doesn't
May
clap.
I
We asked you
finish?
not to clap,
I was-
sir.
Hold
May
on,
I finish?
may I finish?
May
Because
I- no, may I finish?
No, may I finish? Because I actually represent the township of Branchburg also. And what you just recited is not accurate.
It's not accurate.
Judge Shanahan made no decision in any litigation regarding Branchburg and the warehousing, none.
It was an out-of-court settlement between the township and the developer.
Are you reading from
and
the newspaper?
township- And the township said they have to do this. It breaks their heart, but they have to do this.
Okay.
And so this is what happens. The warehouses that exist now are not these monster warehouses, and they should be penalized.
What you just
But
read
what-
is that,
but what needs to be done, what needs to be addressed are these humongous things that are coming in. And this is not going to affect them anyway. You're saying that those applications are not going to be affected by this. So what's the purpose of all of this?
but what about the 25 other applications that could come tomorrow? What about those?
Which ones? Monster warehouses?
Absolutely. There could be
Okay,
25
so
more tomorrow.
address the monster warehouses.
But that's what we're doing here.
There are zones.
Ms. Janusek, that's what we're doing.
There are zones that permit.
Ms.
warehousing.
Janusek, that's what
You
we're
have a
doing.
Yes, yeah. No,
Yes,
no,
you
you're
said
not.
it. I
No.
agree. I'm glad
No.
we're on the same page. The
No,
other thing
no, we're
that's
not on the same
important,
page. We
well,
are
you just said
not
yes.
on the
The
same
other
page.
thing that
We're
you
not on the
mentioned
same
is that
page.
Branchburg is did an
We are
outright
not on
ban.
the same page.
We are
I
not
did
doing an
not
outright
say
ban, Ms.
yes
Janusek.
to your
We are not doing an outright
statement.
ban, Ms.
You are
Janusek.
not giving me a chance.
We are
to
not
speak.
doing an
I'm a
outright
member of
ban,
the
Ms.
public.
Janusek.
I have a right to speak.
And you have
I'm
been speaking.
requesting it.
Again,
And I'm
Ms.
requesting
Janusek,
that you
we are
give me
not,
the right to
you can
speak.
keep pointing at me. Ms.
Give me the right to
Janusek.
speak.
Ms.
Okay,
Janusek,
Ms. Janusek,
what I don't
again,
think this is all
If you're
about.
not going to be accurate in your statements and throw innuendo out, then we
We're
have to
not
I
correct
am
it.
ban-
fine.
we are not
Give me a chance
banning,
to speak, and then you can.
we are
and then
not
you-
banning warehouses.
You're banning warehouses.
Please let me finish. If anyone who would like to can apply to build in the zone. They can apply. They go to the Board of Adjustment. Is that Mr. Coyce, is that accurate? They could, we are not banning warehouses. They just have to go before the Board of Adjustment. Is that correct?
That is correct. The other part of this too is, saying that warehousing is being banned. It's almost suggesting as if all the warehousing that's currently existing is no longer going to be allowed, and that's really an untrue and unfair statement to be made. As there is, if I may, and municipal land use law will protect pre-existing non-conforming uses, and as I will allude to later when I have an opportunity to talk, there are administrative remedies available to property owners, and we'll get more into that a little bit later.
Administrative remedies available to the owners of existing warehouses?
Correct. We already talked about it. Certificate of nonconformity, just the process in which someone could change a tenant without having to go to the Board of Adjustment. I'll go into more detail a little bit later for you.
And what is the purpose of doing that to the existing warehouses when they are not monsters that are 200,000, 300,000 square feet? There's been no issue with them, and these have been good businesses. What we're talking about are these monster distribution centers. That's what needs to be addressed in the zoning ordinance.
And it is.
You're addressing a zone that is a permitted use is what we're addressing.
Well, then it needs to be spelled out.
It is
These little
spelled out.
The small warehouses,
It's spelled out.
as they've been allowed, are fine, but you're not saying that it's the big, the monstrosities that want to come in. That you're not addressing.
Maybe you should listen to his comments
So we're
afterwards.
not addressing.
Ms. Janasek, I think you're just misreading the ordinance. This ordinance now, somebody could come in one of these zones, for instance, any of these zones, they could come in as of right. Without this ordinance, they could come in as of right and put a 400,000 square foot warehouse in. They could do that as of right. Now this ordinance says, no, if you want to do that, you got to go to the Board of Adjustment. It's not a permitted use in the zone. So I think your interpretation is inaccurate.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, no,
say-
no,
it
yes,
doesn't
yes.
Say here that these 400,000
You don't need to.
square foot, distribution centers are called a warehouse.
I can assure you that some of the people that testified in opposition to the ordinance would have greatly different opinion than you do on this.
Okay.
Because
Everyone
that's
has
why
different
some of them
opinions.
that's why some of them not testify. That's why some of them spoke here tonight. Is
And
because
everyone-
they
and every-
believe it directly affects them, and it does.
Everyone has different opinions, exactly.
Thank
And
you.
that's why things need to be spelled out.
And it is.
A regular warehouse that's been in existence and has not been a problem.
Are you
and
a
it's
pla-
not in a
Ms.
residential.
Janasek, are you
it's not
attorney?
Adjoining.
Ms. Janasek, are you an attorney or a planner? Then how would you know how it's supposed to be spelled out? I think we leave it to our professionals to do that. Thank you for your time.
Fine.
Your time is up.
Fine. Yeah, I received a letter stating that.
Yeah, I know you did.
I was
You're within 200 feet.
within 200 feet, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we want to get into it, we can get into a lot of stuff, okay?
Ms.
Which I
Janasek,
don't want to get into.
thank you for
But
your
this does not address what the main problem is and what all
In
the
your-
people are
in
here
your-
about
in your
is that
opinion.
monster they want to put on Weston Road across the street from a residential development. And that's the issue, and that's what needs to be addressed.
Can't be addressed. Thank you. To ongoing application, which we talked about. All right. Well, we're working our way through.
Good evening. My name is Christine Copen, 7 Magdalene. Thank you, is what I'd like to say. I fully support this ordinance. It is a step in the right direction. You are helping us be heard. You are looking out for your citizens' welfare, and we appreciate it. I think that having to get adjustments is exactly what we need to think these out as they go or as they come. And I really appreciate that you guys took the time and listened to the many, many hours of public comment and back and forth. But we appreciate it. Thank you. I fully support this ordinance.
Thank you. Anyone else on the right side?
Carl Kuchera, 17 Elmendorf Circle. You are in my backyard. and I'm sure you're aware of the warehouse that was just built just for speculation, correct, on Royce Field?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're aware of it. And I'm sure you're aware of the truck traffic that goes on Royce Field.
Sir, if you could address your comments to the dais, please, if you could address them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
I
can,
just
you
want
can
to
refer,
commend what you're doing.
Yeah.
Commend what you're doing. I just want to say you're addressing an issue that has spread. My brother's involved with the planning board, Lebanon Township. Someone stood up recently and said, I don't want Lebanon Township to look like another Hillsborough. It wasn't too long ago that Hillsborough was an idyllic place, a beautiful place. And I applaud what you people are doing. You're making a stance, you're starting, and you have a backing of many, many people in Hillsborough. Congratulations.
thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. Anyone else? Last chance. Okay. We have motion to close public or just make it? Oh, we have some public comment that was submitted via the portal that we're going to read into the record by Ms. Borick and Ms. Brake.
Rafiq Bowler, 47 Winding Way. This is regarding the proposed ordinance 2023-08 to remove warehouses as permitted use in Hillsborough. In the township, I am in support of this ordinance. My concerns are flooding, traffic congestion, wear and tear, noise pollution, loss of wildlife habitat, air and water pollution, chemical contamination, unsightly buildings, and floodlights. Suni Bolair from 47 Winding Way, regarding ordinance 2023-08. I am in support of this ordinance to remove warehouses as a permitted use in Hillsborough Township. I'm extremely concerned about the traffic problems this type of operation will generate given the small one-lane roads in Hillsborough. Other concerns I have are flooding, 24-hour noise pollution, both from the warehouse and from the semis, air and water pollution, chemical contamination at warehouse site, which may leach into the groundwater, as I have well water, chemicals stored in warehouses which may pose fire hazard, loss of habitat, wildlife, wear and tear on the roads with increased load of the semis, unsightly appearance of the warehouses, spoiling and otherwise charming and idyllic town, floodlights from the warehouses causing glare at night, etc.
Ina Survivor, 24 Tally Hill Trail, ordinance number 2023-08. Please adopt the ordinance 2023-08 to remove warehouses as a permitted use in the township as soon as possible. I urge you to protect all of us, the residents of our township, from destroying the quality of life in each of the neighborhoods as we live in. Township motto, Hillsborough, the good life, doesn't go well together with warehouses. The sentence about Hillsborough, one of the best places to live in America, shouldn't become, was one of the best places to live in America. Thank you. Raymond Crute, 20 Winding Way. I urge you to please pass this ordinance banning warehouses in Hillsborough. Without this ban, the additional truck traffic, noise pollution, and disruption of our community will drastically change our way of life. For all of our sakes, please pass this. Thank you. Madeline A. Seidelnick, 39 Thornton Street, regarding ordinance 2023-08, Weston Road Warehouse. As a resident of Hearthstone and Hillsborough Adult Community on Weston Road, I respectfully request that the proposed warehouse project be canceled and withdrawn permanently. It would impose negative environmental issues, as has already been presented in our community's legal representative, as well as increased dangerous trailer traffic on an already narrow, no-shoulder, winding residential road. Huge trucks winding their way up through Manville, as well as from the 90-degree curve at Sunnymead Road, would pose significant danger and increased noise, as well as negatively impact our property values. These are all of vital importance to the residents of a 55-plus community, and certainly could not have been the intent of zoning officials decades ago. Thank you for considering my comments. Mingling Lee Zinning, 48 Weber Ave. We support the passing of this ordinance to remove warehouses as permitted use in the township.
Harry Raputi, 16 Todd Street. Our family moved to Hillsborough over 14 years ago and made our town our home. My parents live on the same street. My kids go to the public schools. My wife and I work from home, and we enjoy all that Hillsborough has to offer. With the possibility of several warehouses contemplated in Hillsborough, the look, feel, and vitality of the town will be at risk. I would ask that the township consider alternate uses that fits the town better. Preserving the town for many of the families here will continue to help the town prosper. More families will be drawn to our community, build precious memories, and share their affinity for Hillsborough, creating a positive cycle of happiness and joy. Please preserve the town we love by keeping Hillsborough safe from warehouses. David Brook, 7 Winding Way, Ordinance 2023-08. I want to voice my support for the passage of the Ordinance 2023-08 to prohibit warehouses in specific land use zones in Hillsborough. Large-scale warehouses will destroy the quality of life in Hillsborough, and the township does not have the infrastructure to support these energy-intensive and polluting facilities. Thank you. Cynthia Morelli, Hillsborough. I would like to express my support in passing the proposed ordinance 2023-08. Our streets cannot handle the traffic and safety issues that warehouses impose on our community. A constant stream of truck traffic will have a detrimental effect to our town as well as our air quality. These heavy trucks will be on our roads everywhere, creating noise levels that are not warranted, as well as diesel emissions from the constant flow of trucks. This will also lead to deterioration of the road conditions. Michelle Guarino, 1 Gillette Court. I have been here for 28 years and raised my children in Hillsborough. What is happening to us? No warehouses. Iona O'Sullivan, 25 Weber Avenue. The lovely town of Hillsborough will become more industrialized. Property values will go down. Our country roads will become dangerous to drive on, to bikers and joggers, and to our school children, with all the big trucks that will be coming in and out of the warehouses. Please pass ordinance 2023-08. Thank you.
Roman Sir River, 24 Tally-Ho Trail. Petition to cease warehouse construction. I urge you to adopt Resolution 2023-08, halting the construction of warehouses within our community. The rapid proliferation of these warehouses is threatening the well-being of our township and its residents. Our community has also been cherished for its natural beauty, tranquility, and sense of belonging. However, the unrestricted construction of warehouses is causing significant harm. I am deeply concerned about the following issues. 1, environmental impact. Warehouse construction destroys ecosystems, increases pollution, and strains water resources. The resulting air and noise pollution from heightened transportation activities further degrade our environment. 2, traffic congestion. The influx of warehouses worsens traffic congestion, inconveniencing residents, impeding local businesses, and compromising public safety with delayed emergency response times. 3, decrease property values. Warehouses can negatively impact property values in residential areas, burdening homeowners who have invested in our community and wish to maintain their quality of life. 4, community character. The encroachment of warehouses disrupts our township's unique character and charm. These industrial structures detract from our picturesque surroundings and erode the social fabric of our community. I respectfully request the immediate adoption of a resolution to halt further warehouse construction in Hillsborough. I believe this action will protect our community's interest and preserve its identity.
Diane Talon Whitman, 6 Frederick Court. Please vote against allowing warehouses in our residential neighborhoods because of increased flooding, increased heavyweight traffic, and the resulting wear and tear on our roadways and the extreme danger to cars and their passengers with collisions with massive heavy trucks. Barbara Sugum, 7 Seal Place. I am in support of ordinance 2023-08. Adopting this ordinance is vital to preserving the residential quality of our township. However, Hillsborough was never meant to or designed to be an industrial hub. To begin with, many of our roads cannot accommodate tractor-trailer type vehicles on a continuous basis. This will disrupt traffic flow as well as pose a safety threat to our residents. Thomas Burns, 8 Camden Road. Ordinance number 2023-08. I strongly oppose the zoning of warehouses in any locations not immediately accessible by the Route 206 bypass. The whole purpose of that project was to relieve the volume of traffic, especially trucks on our local roads. New warehouses in our town will increase traffic, increase accidents, increase noise, increase impervious surfaces, increase pollution, and for no benefit to the quality of life of the town's residents. Please adopt ordinance 2023-08. Do not destroy our quality of life. Oh, I'm sorry. Jan Miller from 2305 Tudor Court said, please adopt ordinance 2023-08. Do not destroy our quality of life. Ann Mullins, 8 Waterman Lane, Unit 408. This is about ordinance 2023-08. There are enough possibilities of warehouses going up in Hillsborough as it is. Huge diesel trucks coming and going on roads not wide enough to handle. Safe driving is unsafe. On Weston Road, the danger of too much runoff coming into the retention basin in the Hearthstone community is very upsetting to the 187 187 residents of this community already. The possibility of another warehouse on this road is unthinkable.
Last page. Elaine S. Kimball, 21 Weber Avenue. As a resident of Hearthstone at Hillsborough, I strongly oppose the construction of an oversized warehouse directly across from our community on Weston Road. There are numerous reasons as to why I'm opposed to this construction, as well as all the residents of Hearthstone are as well. The main reasons why this totally inappropriate proposal won't work are the roads, which cannot handle semi-tractors coming and going, the water runoff issues. I was one of several residents that was flooded during Hurricane Ida. The other issues that have been raised are the railroad that runs behind the property, the airport close by. Please listen carefully to the objections that I have, along with many others, to stop this project from happening. Our quality of life here at Hearthstone depends on your decision. Please do the right thing. And Alicia Gaber-Bayless, good evening. Hillsborough, New Jersey. Good evening. I realize it's attractive to bring warehouses to town because the additional property taxes that will be raised will help to lower everyone else's property taxes, though the town may wind up paying more to maintain local roads. Thank you for introducing ordinance number 2023-08. It is hard to imagine having so many more tractor trailers on the road from applications that have already been submitted, let alone more that could come in the future if this ordinance is not passed. Please excuse me in that I have not studied this ordinance. It sounds as though future warehouse applications would not be allowed, and that is great. However, if light industrial could still be allowed, would you consider changing the ordinance to exclude light industrial as well? Community members who have studied this have shared that light industrial could have similar truck traffic and could cover similar square footage. Thank you for your time.
That's all.
That's it.
Obviously, for members of the board and everything, anything that was directly representing or about an ongoing application is not to be considered here. And we all know that. Just want to reiterate that has nothing to do with that. I'll now ask Mr. Coyce to add any commentary that he might want to add based on what he's heard tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Township Committee. Good evening, general public. Hillsborough Township has experienced a high volume of warehouse applications due to the rise in e-commerce and consumer expectations for same-day delivery services, perpetuating demand for large-scale warehousing for goods and distribution. These industries generate economic activity, jobs, and rateables, but it should not be at the expense of the public good. Many of these applications are located in close proximity to sensitive land uses, including environmentally sensitive and residential zones. Such developments would produce negative impacts to the public, including noise, traffic, and air pollution. The rapid growth of the warehouse development has affected the state, and thus, the New Jersey Planning Commission issued a report, Distribution, Warehousing, and Good Movement Guidelines, which provide guidance to local governments to control warehouse development. Unfortunately, it did not go further than that. The township has the right to protect the public health, safety, promote the general welfare, and preserve the natural landscape of the community, which directly aligns with multiple goals in the master plan. To name some of those goals: to provide a future land use pattern that promotes a safe and healthful environment, to continue and expand upon land use policies that guide development to suitable locations and at appropriate intensities, encourage and require the development of employment areas near residential neighborhoods with design that assures the peace and solitude of residents, promote land use and management policies that provide for clean air and protection from noise and light impacts, and to minimize the impacts of the transportation system on the environment, including air and noise pollution. And finally, Mayor, just to address some of the things that were mentioned, there's a number of things that are outlined in the municipal land use law that talks about what the process is for non-conforming uses and all the rights and privileges that go with that, including the limitations. And within the first year, property owners or businesses would have the right to apply to the zoning officer to apply for a certificate of nonconformity. It is their option to do that in doing so, they'd be able to document a number of the characteristics of that use, and it would be outlined and documented. If they wait and it goes beyond 1 year, they have the right to go to the Board of Adjustment. Some of the things I've heard, such as, any changes, which I think is an unfair assessment to say. There was a lot of generalizing in a number of the statements that I heard, and I have some concerns about that. And part of what I'm trying to put in the record is that, there is a process for which tenants can change without their having to go to the Board of Adjustment, as I have just indicated what that process would be. Would it be through applications? Yes. Part of that would be through documentation? Yes, absolutely. Is it going to take some time for people to do that? Absolutely. Do I fully expect that property owners and business owners are going to want to protect their investment and to put that on the record? Absolutely. I would expect that to be such the case. And for us to officially administer that, it's only a benefit to the township and to the zoning official to have all those records documented going forward. That's pretty much all I have to add. If there's anything else, just please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Coyce. I don't think there's no more other comment from the public. I think we've all heard it. Any other comments from dais? If not, I would enter into a motion to close and adopt 2023-08.
Mayor, I'll make that motion to close and adopt.
Second.
We have a first and a second. We will have a roll call, please.
Mayor Monroe?
Yes.
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Britting?
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante?
Yes. And I will just say that I appreciate the opinions of all those that were presented here. This is a first step that I think we all understand. And sometimes the first step needs to be the hardest and the boldest. But we all think that we are on the path to make the town a better place for the long run. I will now move to introduction of new ordinances 2023-10. Ordinance to exceed the 2023 municipal budget appropriations limit and to establish a cap bank. Further consideration and public hearing will be held on July 18, 2023. May I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2023-10?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mayor Monroe?
Yes.
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Britting?
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante?
Yes. 2023-11, ordinance authorizing redevelopment and property sale agreement between Township of Hillsborough and Sunnymead Ventures LLC for the property identified as Sunnymead Road, Block 182, Lot 7.02, Hillsborough, New Jersey. Further consideration and public hearing will be held on, this is special, June 27th of 23. I'm going to repeat that. The hearing will be June 27th of 2023.
And that is going to be a 5 p.m. meeting.
That will be a 5 p.m. meeting for that ordinance hearing. May I have a motion to introduce 2023-11?
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Sorry. Can you type? Committeeman Rowe?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Britting?
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante?
Yes. Claims list 2023-10. May I have a motion to approve claims list 2023-10?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Second. Any comments from the dais? Seeing none, any comments from floor on the claims list 2023-10? Seeing none, may I have roll call, please?
Committeeman Rowe?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Britting?
Yes.
Mayor LaPlante?
Yes. There are no new business, so we'll go to the public comment on matters not on the agenda. Ms. Bork, please read the statement regarding public comment.
The Township Committee welcomes input from the public. Please state your name and address, and please spell your name for the record. You will be given 1 3-minute allotment for your comments. Please understand that this forum is not structured as a question and answer session. Comments are to be addressed to the mayor. And again, please keep your comments to 3 minutes. Thank you.
And again, this is not on anything on tonight's agenda. Any comments? Uh-oh. You
Just press the button.
just press the button and hold it if you could.
Something Taylor.
Good.
Maybe
Nah.
not. There you go.
All right, there we go.
All right.
Grant Culmer, Taylor Avenue. Just because I'm here, fantastic. I made a comment a few months ago about the report that was done in the back of the Green Hills neighborhood for the downstream analysis. So I was going interfacing with I think the engineering department, and I would just like to see and advocate, because I'm here to have that report presented to the township. As I understand, it is not in front of your hands, or maybe it is, or you're just not sharing, or you're noticing some budgetary constraints about what to do. And I'm just here to advocate on behalf of our neighborhood to help with the flooding that we obviously are current. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Understood.
Maria Janusik. My question is, when an ordinance is introduced that is amending a zone, do property owners within 200 feet have to be notified if it's amending a zone?
Is it a question, Bill, is if a property owner, if a zone is being amended, do the people within 200 feet need to be notified?
Yes.
Answer is yes.
Yes. Okay. And when it's a change in something, not amending the zone, but a change within the ordinance about the zone,
A use,
is
maybe?
that also?
If there's a change in use?
Now it all depends.
Not in the
If you
use.
change a permitted use in the zone, that is significant enough where everybody within the zone and everybody within 200 feet must be noticed unless it's in connection with the master plan reexamination. But if it's just you change some design standards or other things like that, no.
But the change in the use.
If you change a use, yes. That's why for tonight, everybody who was with every property owner in all those zones was sent a notice, and everybody within 200 feet was sent a notice.
Okay.
And that's why you received a notice for tonight.
Thank you. I just want to say, excuse me, when I was coming to the planning board meeting, the last planning board meeting, I was driving down Weston Road, and I happened to be behind a huge tractor trailer. As he was going down, he went to make a turn off of Weston onto Sunnymead to the right. That's a small, narrow street. He had to wait till all the cars went by, and then he did this major swerve into the oncoming traffic lane. So I don't understand how that could be considered an okay thing as far as traffic, because I know something had been mentioned by one of the witnesses for the Weston application, that if it's zoned I-1, then it means that the roads can handle the traffic. I was behind that truck, and no way could that guy make that turn without really, and kind of having to be close about it to get into that narrow two-lane road. So that's a huge safety issue. And I don't know how anything could be considered that tractor trailers can actually be on that road. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Mia T-Shaw, 3 Deer Run. Just to piggyback off Ms. Janisek's comment about safety, I don't know if we've talked about this at all, but whatever happens with whatever's being considered right now, I'd like to add that we haven't actually discussed how to keep our roads safe if things pass, whatever. And I'd like to request that we consider the cost of additional police presence on our roads. We need to keep our kids safe. We need to keep residents safe. If there's going to be hundreds of tractor trailers, we're going to want more police on the roads. And that's on top of wear and tear of roads. Everyone talks about wear and tear of roads. No one's talking about extra patrol on the streets. And as a resident, as a mom, I want that. So I'm going to be driving, I don't know, 6 years. These warehouses may get built in 6 years. I want more police on the roads.
I think you'd be happy
Chief,
to
did you
know-
pay her?
I think you'd be happy to know, I think we've gone from 52 in 2019 to where are we at? 61, 63 now? 63 in these 3-4 years. So we certainly recognize the need for additional officers here in Hillsborough. And I did another one tonight. We hired one tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Shaw. Anyone else? Okay. Seeing none else, it ends public comment. I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. And for the last time, Ms. Bork, we have a motion and second. Please call the roll.
Committeeman Rue,
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson,
Yes, thank you, Pam.
Deputy Mayor Britting,
Yes.
and Mayor Lapani.
If I say, don't say anything, you have to stay longer. Miss you. Yes.
Thank you.
We are adjourned 10:31. I win the pool.
Oh, it's Price is Right rules. You were over. You said 10.